laugh at something. Morning, people. It is Tuesday, the 16th of May. Welcome to TDA, the day after, your favorite news platform and the home of popular culture as defined by you guys, the culture. And as always, you have amazing, amazing hosts. So we'll go ahead and introduce ourselves.
It's your boy, Big Moss from the east side of the bridge. Good morning, people.
It is your favorite shade queen, Martin Royalty.
And they call me E-Man, the pro-black activist, TDA producer and news analyst, melanin jam-packed.
Always. How is everyone doing this lovely Tuesday morning?
See that, yeah.
Well, you're impressed. You feel it today?
Yeah, the energy today. Melanin was
Jam-packing.
Jam-packing, isn't it? You felt that one. What happened? What's going on?
That's for the people who may be doubting.
Yeah, it's like a response. It's not like you know this is about you. You know who this, you know you've been doubting my melanin.
Oh, God.
How's everyone doing there?
I'm tired, man. My melanin's waning.
It doesn't help. Sometimes Brent has you looking washed on camera.
Brent's a hater. Brent's a hater. He does it on purpose.
There was one time there he did correct himself because I was like, that is ridiculous. When he changed it, I said, stop it.
Got me looking all bright and all that. He's got an
They
agenda.
look like Casper the Ghost, baby.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
He's got an agenda. This ain't even my real colour on here.
You sound like the girls when we're trying to show their friends.
Yeah.
Like, no, but he looks better in real life. He's not very photogenic.
That one's always tough. Why do good-looking people never really photogenic?
I know.
It's
But
crazy.
sometimes they're videogenic. So you got to show a video. You got to show a quick
She needs
3
movement,
seconds.
innit?
You got to see him emotion. To really, take in the beauty. It's just... Why do you think I'm like you're coming to fight?
He always does that.
Ridiculous.
Always does that.
Absolutely ridiculous.
He thinks that I'm going to say something gay or something. What are you doing?
No, but you know what? I feel like when you just did that, I kind of saw your son. I was thinking, why would you do that?
That's why I look at everything all the time.
But no, man, yeah.
You all right?
I'm good. I'm actually good. I'm very good today. The sun is out. I'm in a great mood. I'm seeing one of the queens at R&B tonight.
Who's one of the queens?
Lennox.
Okay.
I'm seeing this and I'm really excited. I keep forgetting though. I keep forgetting I'm meant to be seeing
You
her.
keep forgetting you're going?
Yeah, I might need to set a reminder. And
I
I'm
keep pretending to forget I'm going to Scissor.
Get excited all over again. Damn. You're actually an egg. So, where this is on?
Oh yeah,
I feel you there. Sometimes I feel you there. That would be a treat on a low day. It's like life is not working now. It's like, do you know what's fun?
Got Scissor tickets.
Exactly. Exactly.
When's the Scissor show?
Oh. I just know I got the tickets. I got them before they even went out to Gen Pop.
Not Gen Pop.
It was a full-scale operation. Me and Esther was waiting for them to release. We was talking from about 5 in the morning.
It was the whole thing, yeah.
We're patting them. I got them early.
Sick.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, ain't taking no chances, you get me? I'm president of the Scissor East London fan club.
All right. Okay. It might just be you. It's London.
I'm the only one in there.
I don't think other Killies are, singing to Scissor the way you be singing to her.
No, I'll be trying to have meetings, calling the tunnels and all that. Order! There's no one in there. It's just me.
I think you should reach out to her team. Get on no behaviour.
Do you reckon she'll forward?
Never know, because Scissor's walking in a new light. She's really walking in her... Because I feel like she used to kind of be like a mysterious girl. But since she got her bum, she's not that mysterious anymore.
I need to find a connect, actually.
Very outside. I think you can make it happen.
My friend produces at BBC, and apparently she's supposed to be putting up through there.
Oh yeah, she definitely would.
Innit?
She'd be at all the stations, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna
Be lit.
I might go and force my way in there.
Don't be silly.
How you might just see me in the back.
But you don't need to do that.
This is
I need you to... Your marks, you don't need to do that. You don't need to move and do up groupie things, Sign my chest type vibes.
Yeah, but what about if I want to?
You could, but if I was to see that, I don't think I can respect you the way I currently do.
Okay, fair enough.
That you'll be, there's an ick list going online
Yeah,
when
yeah,
guys
yeah.
do. Okay, I have to say, that list is getting ridiculous though. Like, someone talked about when a guy has an accident and he moves in the car.
Can you imagine?
And someone was like, so that means that you're probably in an accident with a guy, and whilst you might die, you were just focused on the fact that his body was shaking.
Is there this guy around?
There is, yeah. So whenever women tweet something, there's this guy who's like, oh, another one on the list, guys. And it literally goes viral every time. And so the list is just ridiculous. They're like in hundreds now. But I feel like seeing your man act like a groupie is defo. I never want to witness that. I don't care if that's your childhood hero. I don't care if that's... Who was it that got was it Messi during the World Cup and stuff?
Yeah.
I don't care. You have to act like you got some composure.
I think.
Yeah, man. Because you know, I wouldn't do that with my man. If I did that, my man should definitely get the ick. You see me, Chris Brown comes and I'm acting a fool. Honey, we got to have a word. You got to let me walk home. I can't go back in the same car with you.
So who would you act a fool for?
Nobody. Jesus. That's it. I can't bring myself to act a fool. Like, I really don't. Like, as a me, I have a lot of shame. But as a Yoruba woman, the shame is intensified. So I couldn't act a fool. Nah, I can't think of anybody that I would act a fool for. Who would you act a fool for? Caesar.
No, I wouldn't really act a fool. I don't think acting a fool's my bag. But if I was going to experience it, probably would be scissor. I'm going to try.
It'd be interesting though. It's interesting to see how people are around people that they admire. It's cute.
What does acting a fool look like though? Because
That's a good question.
If I admire somebody, I could be looking like a fool to you, but to somebody else, it just looks as though I'm paying respect. Or
To another fool, you look like you're...
okay.
I'm joking, I'm playing. I'm playing. I don't know if you're just... that you can't compose yourself. Like, I like you've been here before. Like, just be calm. Like, I don't want you shaking. You know how some people see people and they're like fainting and they're like shaking and they're like on the floor and kneeling. Have you seen that Davido video? You must have.
No.
You must have. And the guy's like, Davido. It's a grown-ass man, you know, and he's like he's kneeling down and just shouting. Davido's like, calm down. Oh, that's the worst.
What type of man?
It was a man.
Yeah, but
The
like,
black man.
Yeah, but is he like a man? Like a...
I don't know what you're talking about. That
Okay.
sounds toxic over there. I don't do it. He was a man. He was a man.
Okay.
He was a man. And he was really doing a lot. It goes viral all the time.
It sounds like an extreme example. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. But then you think it's extreme though. When you think about people that... When we think about people that faint in at shows,
Yeah.
it sounds extreme.
But is that the type of
It's
groupie
common.
you're talking about? Groupie love.
Yeah. Or you're just doing too much. Like, you
Suppose
just can't compose yourself.
Suppose I'm just smiling heavy.
Smiling heavy is good.
Because I'm normally giddy. I'm normally full of life, right? So if
Yeah.
it is I see somebody that I revere,
You see, if you're more full of life than I already know you to be full of life of,
yeah,
that's a lot of life.
okay. Suppose
don't
I want
know.
to take a picture with him.
No, I would be the one. I would definitely take a picture with, like, as in help you take a picture.
Oh, so
If you meet your
that's
idol,
not the groupie love you're talking about.
No. Taking a picture is all right. I will
Interesting.
make sure I get the lighting right. I'm doing this for you, babes, because that's fine. I don't mind you asking for a picture and stuff like that. That's what you admire. But if you're like making them like, if you're doing so much where they now feel uncomfortable and they're like, okay,
Okay.
then it's like, okay, like now it's just weird now. But I feel like if you have a nice interaction, you might be nervous or whatever. That's fair, but if you're doing so much that the person is visibly now uncomfortable, honey,
That's a red flag for you. That's a dumpable offense.
it's not dumpable because you know the economy's tight. You got way up
Oh,
things to dump
serious?
people
So
for
it
these
doesn't
days.
really.
It's
doesn't
just
really
like, oh,
mess with you that much. Then.
no, it messes with me enough.
Performing right now.
Sorry? This guy's headlines, man. You're pissing me off. It's like 5 minutes into the show. It's acting a fool already. This is what I'm talking about. tickets.
I keep bringing it off like conversations. I can't
That's
help
what, we need to have a talk. We need to talk. Because this is second date. Brent, this cannot happen. Okay, I'm not here tomorrow. This cannot happen going into the week.
Yeah, but I always choose the right ones to talk about.
Yeah, but I don't like
choose
that.
the ones that aren't really supposed to be.
No,
talked
because you
about.
know like how I am, yeah? So to the naked eye, it just looks like you're silencing me.
Oh, serious?
I can't have a man silencing me in public like this.
Okay, you rather me be giddy and be a groupie instead?
No,
No.
you do whatever you want to do. Just don't embarrass me.
All right. Hear that?
So our first headline, seems like things are not looking too good for the Tories, man. Because a top businessman whose foreign companies were part of a global money laundering investigation is apparently a major donor to the Tory party. Javad Marandi, who has an OBE for business and philanthropy, came to be named after losing a 19-month legal battle with the BBC to remain anonymous. Mr. Marandi strongly denies wrongdoing and isn't subject to criminal sanction. The judgment against him is a milestone for freedom of press amid growing privacy laws in the courts. A spokesperson for the businessman said Mr. Marandi is deeply disappointed at the court's decision to lift reporting restrictions, knowing the reputational damage that is likely to follow. The NCA, which is the National Crime Agency investigation, found some of Mr. Morandi's overseas interests had played a key role in an elaborate money laundering scheme involving one of Azerbaijan's richest oligarchs. In January of 2022, a judge ruled the NCA could seize £5.6 million from the London-based family. Their British bank accounts received cash that had been removed from Azerbaijan in what the judge has said was a significant money laundering scheme. The family has denied that allegation, and at the outset of the hearing in October of 2021, Mr. Marandi was granted anonymity in court. Now, High Court judges have ruled that Mr. Marandi can be identified because he has been a person of importance in the NCA's case. And the second headline, tell me what you guys think of this year. Basically, this is probably like kind of old news anyway, but it's obviously resurfaced again. But a BBC investigation has found that British men are taking payments of thousands of pounds to pose as fathers for migrant women. They are being offered up to £10,000 to add their names to birth certificates, which enables a child to get UK citizenship and giving mothers a residency route. Scammers are using Facebook to tout for business and claim to have helped thousands of women in this way. The investigation found that the fraud is happening in different communities around the UK. A researcher went undercover posing as a pregnant woman who was in the UK illegally and spoke to people offering these services. One agent who went by the name of Thai, as in short for Thailand, told her he had multiple British men who could act as fake fathers and offered a full package for £11,000. He described the process as very easy and said he would do anything, or everything rather, to get the child a UK passport. Thai, who didn't advertise on Facebook, said he would concoct a convincing backstory in order to successfully dupe the authorities. He introduced the undercover researcher to a British man named Andrew, who he said would pose as a father. Andrew would be paid £8,000 from the total fee. And during their meeting, Andrew showed his passport to prove he was a UK national. He also took selfies with the researcher. This is how they do their business, man.
I hear it.
Good guy, man. It's a good hustle.
That is a good hustle. That's a very creative hustle.
You need to connect for that. What do you say? You're against it?
No, not really, you know. So, I wouldn't say something similar. No one asked me to be their father yet, but someone asked me to, like, do one of those fake marriages, innit?
What was they offering? How much was they offering?
I can't remember. I think it was about 10.
I don't
Grand.
understand.
That's tough though, because that's like over a period of time. That's like the first year,
yeah,
innit?
Yeah. This is when I was like, how old was I? Like 20, early 20s?
30. I think I would have done for 30.
Yeah.
All right, depends who you're marrying.
It don't really matter. Well, you say because you got to stick around for like they come and they check and stuff like, and you got to get your backstory right. They'll check you up in like 6 months. You can't just do it and then just disappear.
Yeah,
You got to like, you got to have that person in your life in some way, shape, or form for a little while before you can. You get me?
Yeah.
I don't
Sorry?
think 10 grand's worth it.
Wait a minute. Age 21, somebody asked you to have a fake marriage?
Was I 21? I was in retail, so this was about early 20s though. It was like probably just after uni, I think.
But I knew you. I was spending a lot of time with you.
You didn't tell me.
No, because it wasn't a big deal to me. Innit? It was just like, oh, nah, that's not for me type thing, innit?
What would you advise him to do?
Brent's thinking, right, you never offered me the deal. You would have took
You've
it,
done
Brent.
No, I wouldn't have done it, but it sounds like conversation, right? This is interesting stuff, right?
Yeah.
During that time, you used to talk to me about music.
Yeah, but it wasn't something I was considering. Like, if I was considering it, I may be like, oh, yo, Brent, what do you think about this? Yeah. Da-da-da. But in the moment, I was like, nah, man. Like, it wasn't something, yeah. I don't
And how much were they offering?
I think it was around 10 or so, you know. I can't remember.
So
This is a while ago.
So what does one have to basically do to qualify? Like, what do you need to do? Just
I think,
pretend?
yeah,
As in
basically.
physically?
Yeah.
Huh?
I know you don't have to. I don't think you have to lip them or marry or have sex or anything. But basically, you just get married, innit? You say you're in a relationship, you get married, and you go and get married, and then but obviously if they're gonna apply for the stay or whatever, then you have to have a kind of you have to have a meeting. So for them to kind of get to the bottom and to see that you guys really are married, and they'll ask you personal questions about each other, that kind of stuff. And then if they say that, you know what, they feel like the marriage is valid, then I sound like I know a lot about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's facts.
I read. So they ask you if
That's what you got to do. They check
and
your
then-
backstory.
they check your backstory. And if they say that
Check your commitment,
it
check your
sounds
love,
right.
see if they believe your love.
Exactly, and then they give you the papers.
But does it now mark you for life?
What do you
No,
mean?
you get divorced after a while.
Yeah.
What do you mean, marked for life?
So until it
You're
is-
divorcee for sure.
I got
I
a
don't understand.
record
One
now,
second.
innit?
When you say
Record of what?
Record of what?
Of
What are you
marriage.
talking about?
Marriage.
Yeah.
It's a stain.
Yeah, but people get stained for less.
Why is that a stain? What are you talking about?
Because basically, when he meets a woman, he can't say, I've never been married before. Technically, he has. And then if he goes, why do you guys
Oh.
break
You have
up?
to be a liar
Oh, because
now.
you're not a liar. You just tell her the truth.
But you just tell the
Why
truth.
would I tell her the truth?
Because they're
Because
good
then
at
she'll know.
Then she thinks I'm a freshie, right?
No, she wouldn't.
No,
Oh, I'm a
no.
freshie enabler.
No.
It don't matter. You're a hustler.
Everyone's
Tell her-
Oh,
a
is that what she
enabler.
would think?
We tell
No, I
her,
think- I
if
think
she
she
asked
thinks
me
they're
if you're
kinda
married
nice.
before, I say no, we're not out of love. I got paid £30,000 to marry someone one
I
time.
mean, if someone
Sometimes there are
if,
women looking to take men from their wives anyway, so...
What do you mean? It's not.
Yeah,
It was a
record.
business transaction.
that ain't no
Yeah,
worries.
true.
No, but she's not going to look at it like you're tainted goods
No, but I
because there
was-
was no love in there. If you tell her, I got paid £30,000 to marry a foreign national one time,
I'll be honest with you. If a guy
At
told me
any
that,
point
he's
in
not
time,
giving
she
me
could be
it.
like, are
Same,
you
I
married
don't
now?
think it would.
and you're divorced now as well, by the way.
Exactly. You're divorced
into
now.
our marriage.
Huh?
Huh?
2 years into our marriage.
What do you mean?
Like,
Say that again?
Have you picked up another one?
No, unless you're unless you're Nigerian, she's not asking you that.
Oh.
Nigerian men are the ones that marry. They're married in every different borough. A man will be married in Hackney.
Can
He
I
goes
say
to
stuff
Bromley
like
and
this?
marry them more. Huh?
Can I say stuff like this about Nigeria?
No, you definitely can't.
No?
Because you take it too far.
All right.
What do you say I was saying last time? That there was bodies around Nigeria?
There
You're
was
gonna have
bodies,
me-
there was bodies,
and
dead
do you know
bodies in the
what's
street. There was dead bodies in the street.
Bro, the thing is, yeah, this show is going to get bigger. 100%. I will get banned from entering Nigeria. That's why I said you can't attach that to my name.
Does that work? Does it work like that?
That's what they do. Yeah.
Serious?
Anyone who spoke out against NSARS that was international, they got you weren't allowed in the country.
Okay.
Esther, just come to that Ghana.
It was very silly.
You didn't
What?
come to
What did
Ghana.
that do? Did they have Suya in Ghana? It was silly. BTEC Nigeria. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Wow.
I get banned from Ghana and Nigeria. Could go Gambia. I'm playing. But no, yeah, I wouldn't think it's a bad thing if a guy told me he did that. I feel that's a kind act. That's very lovely of you.
That's what I'm thinking too, man.
Yeah, man. And depending on who it is, if you're obviously married his auntie or something, then you're crazy in your family. I don't want to be part of that. But if he was like, oh, my friend was going to get deported and blah, blah,
Yeah.
and they've been in this country all their lives and they found I didn't have paper or whatever, I think that's a kind thing to do.
That's what
I
I'm
will rate
saying.
that. I can't lie to you.
Yeah, it would be nice to help her, man.
Yeah, man. I think it's
Right,
sweet.
because right now she's back home, innit? She's in Africa. She's in what country she's from? Zambia.
You let her get shit back. You're ridiculous. You even know where she is. You're rude.
To be fair,
Wait, someone you
she's-
knew personally.
Yeah, we used to work
Oh,
together.
you man.
We used to work together.
Well,
innit?
she asked you for a favour,
Yeah.
And you said
and you,
no.
and you turned her down.
And she got deported.
It wasn't really a
And
favour,
lost
it
her
was-
job.
That's bad, man.
To be fair, she's happy though. She's married.
Is it Gammy from X Factor?
No.
I always think about her. I always think about like what happened to her because she really went on X Factor, was due to win, and got deported.
But yeah,
Sad, man. I said Simon Cowell could not pull any strings.
no.
Anyway, so she's out there, back there, married now and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
married to one white guy over there, and
Oh, she's making her way here somehow, with or without you.
But
That's
at the
sweet,
same time,
man.
I feel like it's one of those, you know, where you're kind of living good back home. You don't really need to
So
come
the
here.
people here anyway, where Cosy lives, man.
This is it, man. She's enjoying life, man.
I don't think I would do it. I don't do it if a guy was really like really attractive.
Is there a number that could change that? Say someone said they got 60k for you. Like 50, 60 sounds like reasonable.
No, but I'm
to
thinking
do
of
that.
what goes into it because you know what I'm thinking of? When we go into the office to do the test here, for them to gauge if for real, he's got to grab my bum, kiss me. Oh, honey, not for 60k. Got to pay more than that.
I would take it. Grab my bum.
Yeah, well, you're a hoe, so that's different.
No, but it's just like a
Nah, man.
that could happen on a date.
It doesn't happen on my
I
days.
just treat
That's
it
the
like a
thing.
date.
Nah,
You got
couldn't.
things too nice
The
over here,
marriage
man. The
shop.
people don't know struggle, man.
That's-
You go
no,
to
but-
certain countries, you offer them that 60 racks. What?
Yeah, it's true.
Like-
They'll start
changing.
bringing their cousins and things. They'll start.
You got one for him?
Yeah, like, are you crazy?
Nah, I couldn't, man. I don't let my bum get grabbed by people I don't like. There's got to be feelings involved to grab this bum. But yeah. Is that what the headline?
Happy birthday, Tariq.
It's not his birthday, man.
What?
It ain't his birthday.
Oh, sorry. I take it back.
It's a week's friend.
What?
How'd you know?
Oh, he was reading the chat.
I'll concentrate. No, he said his
I'm concentrating.
he said his birthday one time. He said it was the 15th of May, but one time.
Oh.
So it was yesterday.
Mm.
It's worse. So you don't want a guy to have a happy birthday even though you're one day late. You are so stubborn. What? So it was the 15th of May, you know.
Say happy belated.
I don't want to do it now.
Why? That's the proper rules.
Because
That's
you
what-
just lied to Black Queen just now.
How did I lie?
Trying to go on like you retain this information from last year. You said read it in the chat.
Do you know what's mad?
So no.
I
Sorry.
thought he remembered, but I wasn't going to push that. I thought, because why are you remembering his birthday? I wasn't going to push it.
Wouldn't
That's
remember
okay.
finance.
What?
Said you wouldn't remember finance.
Are you crazy? He's a Gemini.
Is that because he moves like a Gemini?
Oh, yeah,
Hey, I don't know what they move like. I'm just guessing.
Oh man.
hey, what star sign are you, Kelly?
No, Fernand, no, we need to get, okay, Fernand, what star sign? We're not going to make a joke about it. We just want to know. I'll tell you mine if you tell me yours. Is that what they're done?
If I got that right, boy.
There's one more, you know.
Is it? Oh, sorry.
But it's a very short one. Basically, just like a little update on yesterday's news about Suella Braverman's speech to the Tory party. And basically, she said, which is pretty much what I said she was going to say yesterday, there's no good reason the UK cannot train its own lorry drivers and fruit pickers to bring immigration down. Addressing a conference in London, the Home Secretary argued it was not racist to want to control borders. She has previously said her ultimate aspiration is to reduce net migration, which is the difference between those entering and leaving the UK. And she wants to reduce that to below 100,000. Bear in mind, it's expected to hit a record 700,000 this year. Ms. Braverman's speech has been seen by some as a warning shot to Prime Minister Rishi Sunak to focus more on cutting immigration, although Down the Street says her words were cleared with them. Some senior Tories believe more immigration is needed in the short term to boost economic growth. Trade Minister Nigel Huddleston told Times Radio, every now and again we also need more people to come into the country, but the key thing was to have control. He also added, in the long term we need immigration to come down because that's what has been causing some challenges in local areas for a long period of time. The horticulture industry has suffered labour shortages since the UK left the EU, which was made worse by the pandemic. A campaign to recruit more UK-based workers for seasonal farm roles was scrapped in 2021 after a relatively small number of people signed up to it. And that's it for the headline.
What training needs to go into fruit picking? I guess you don't pick some weeds with it. No, but it's fruit.
Yeah.
If it's not a strawberry, then it's not a strawberry, is it?
Yeah.
But the problem is that British people don't want to do those kind of jobs. That's the issue.
Mhm.
So it's not even to do with training or anything.
Yeah.
I wonder how much it pays. I'd pick fruit if the price was right.
But I mean, for those, see, this is how people start saying I'm a Tory. But the thing is though, if you haven't got a job, why are you? You know what I'm saying? Why are you at home?
No, but
pick the fruit.
No, but that's not even to do with like being a Tory. That's just human beings in general. But again, it's people that should not be having egos about things have egos about things because I don't understand that. People like you need a job and stuff. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think it's layered. But,
Yeah. Like most things, I guess, isn't it? But
I don't get it.
Exactly. Fundamentally, like you need to support yourself or your
Yeah.
family, this, that, and the third. You ain't working.
That's it.
Do the job.
I'll do whatever I need to do.
It's because people live here, though. This is the reason why. If you lived in other parts of the world now, this wouldn't be a discussion. You just go and do it.
It's crazy, man.
You know what I mean? But
Is this based in London or is this outside of London? Because I think people would look to go and find fruit picking jobs if it was part of their local thingamajiggy.
Local farm.
But where am I picking fruit in London?
I don't know.
Why
but,
are you
but I don't think it's London though, Brent. I think it's different parts of the country, innit? Where all the farms are.
You know what I'm saying?
It'd be like Kent and stuff, though. It's not London. You can't pick.
But
fruit
it's
in
people that
Oxford
live
Street,
there,
but
though,
it'll be
innit?
around.
It's still immigrant work anyway, or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
What are they called? Immigrants?
Yeah.
What?
It is a mediocre job, fruit picking, but it's definitely immigrant work. There's been doing it for enough long, and that's why there's the stuff that's. We reported this months ago with the fruit pickers and the numbers and stuff.
I will
coming
need
down.
them to start picking fruit though, because there's no cherries in the land. And I went to, with them little fruit and veg people shops and stuff. The guy nearly laughed me out because I was asking about cherries. I said, all right, thanks. Trying to give my business.
We spoke about this slightly before. There's jobs. There's bare jobs like people do. There's bare jobs that people don't want to do. It's
Even
because
hospitality ones as
it's
well.
not for us, if that makes sense. People that live here, they feel like they're not
above them.
They're not even looking in that sector when they're looking for work. That is for people. That is immigrant work. You get me?
Yeah, but we are talking about people that we see in London, right?
That's not got no jobs and they can just go
but then
fruit
they will have
picking.
to travel out of London to go and pick
I
fruit.
see what you're saying.
But they would travel for any work though. If they had to travel for office job, people are traveling to Manchester and that for.
But a lot of people don't.
work. They would do
When
it.
it's low, I think people usually commute for like bigger job, better, good jobs.
Nah, because people that do
don't-
cleaning.
people-
Picking.
opposed to what kind of jobs?
Fruit picking.
No, because people that do cleaning
No, so they
travel
commute-
to different places to
People
clean.
usually commute
Yeah, but
for
in
good
the same-
jobs. You agree, innit? But not usually for what kind of jobs?
The one that you said, which is mediocre jobs.
But surely though, there must even in and around the farms where the fruits need to be picked. There must be unemployed people there.
But
what I'm saying.
This is what I'm
That's what
So
I'm
saying.
even the locals are not going.
Those people,
it.
for me, from when it is I go to the cottage world
Yeah.
places, they seem to be about that type of life anyway.
Fruit
That
picking, like-
farming
They have
and,
that stuff in their
and that
backyard.
kind of.
Yeah.
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 But that's the thing though. That's
No,
the
but see, but they
personal
wouldn't
one.
be. That's in their backyard. That's not
Yeah,
fruit
it's a
picking.
personal
They own their farms and that. They're
Yeah.
working their farms and that.
You know
Don't
what
get
I'm
me-
saying is that their mentality.
I get you. Saying.
Okay,
is
yeah, they're more
so,
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
use my hands to basically earn a living.
That makes sense actually. Because if everyone that got gardens and farms and whatever, it's the way of life here. Yeah, that makes sense.
So we're interested to find out, like, is it probably London people? As opposed to
I think yeah, but London people are like the worst of the people, aren't they?
Huh?
They're the worst of the people, aren't they?
Is it
I've heard.
London whites?
What'd you say?
What?
All right. Let's get
Yeah.
this topic of the day. What's your star sign, Oga?
Exactly. you missed that one, innit?
Talking about I'm black, I ain't picking shit. Okay, what's your star sign? Maybe that's why you don't want to pick. But now you go. Listen, what is your star sign? Answer the right question. Stop deflecting, King. Hell.
All right, guys. So today's topic of the day, it might be a very short one, but we'll see where we go with this one.
My energy's low today, so it will be short.
And basically, it's based on the great Israel Adesanya.
Is he great, or you just saying that?
No, he's great. Like he's definitely the best UFC fighter in his weight class.
Is
He's
UFC
champion
different to
anyway.
boxing?
Yeah. So
Okay.
UFC is MMA. So mixed
Is
martial
that
arts.
different to? Oh, okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Yeah.
Is this? I'm looking at the wrong screen here, Manuel. This.
Nah, if it's with a white girl, that's definitely him.
No.
Oh.
This ticker here. It says.
Oh, crap.
I just missed out on being a wife.
Yeah, no, that's the right one.
Yeah, that's the energy he's on. This man's supposed to I ain't got no energy.
All right.
It's gonna be a 10-minute conversation.
And it'll make sense.
What's going on?
It'll make sense.
You tell you.
It'll make sense.
I don't want to spoil. I don't want to do a spoiler with that.
So basically, yeah, Israel Adesanya's had a girlfriend, right? Long-term girlfriend. It's not important that she's of the Caucasian persuasion. That's not
It
important.
never is, to be honest, is it?
No, it's just about the fact is he had a girlfriend who I guess was there for him, been with him for a certain amount of time, not too sure how many years, but it's that and the third, right? And they've split up. However, what makes this situation interesting, because everyone splits up, right? Is that she's trying to take
isn't
him.
that- Are you cousin people? Why
Sorry,
does everyone
sorry.
just-
Not everybody, but
God
you know,
forbid.
God forbid, you know. Sorry,
Can't draw a cross.
she's taking him to court, trying to get half.
Half.
That's right.
Half, man.
How long were they
Half his money.
together?
See,
That is definitely relevant to the story, to be fair.
okay, but is it really relevant? All right. Well,
Was she with him shooting in the gym?
It appears so.
I mean, she wasn't punched in the face, innit? He was punched in the face. He was kicked. He was all types of stuff happened to him. You know what I'm saying? She was there grinning in the cameras. But basically, I think they were together for 15 years.
Ooh,
15.
15 years.
baby, give my money.
She started from the bottom.
What's his
Oh,
name?
yeah,
so I
yeah,
can
yeah,
type
come on
any
in.
man, yo?
Israel.
Israel.
Adesanya.
That's it.
Oh, he's Nigerian.
He's Nigerian,
yes.
the Nigerian king.
I only knew that
Adesanya.
because of how you said it.
Yeah, you know Iman's Ghanaian. You can't pronounce Yoruba word.
I'll make it easy for you people.
No, you don't. Bren's got better Yoruba pronunciation.
Impossible.
Oh, look, okay.
There he is. 15 years though, I get it.
15 years. Yeah.
Because also it depends
Oh.
what her role was as well. That's my thing.
Have they got kids?
No kids.
It depends what her role was.
Have
Because
they-
if I've been cooking and all that stuff, as in like in terms of your keeping up with your diets and making the right meals, all that kind of stuff.
Is she involved in any of like the business? Have they got like a little shell company that they're putting all
He's
this
manager
money
for
through?
them.
Like, it shows her name and anything. Is she involved in anything?
I do not believe so. The thing is, there's a lot of information that's not out there, innit?
What about them?
Yeah.
Come give us some.
But what I will say is, I may have made a mistake about the 15 years, because there's this post that was written by Sean O'Malley, yeah, who's a UFC fighter, and he said, I had seen Izzy, Israel, tweet something, and I was confused because I really didn't know. But Izzy's ex-girlfriend, they're not married, right, wants half of his stuff. I don't know how their relationship was because I didn't even know he had a girlfriend. But to want half of what he's done, but to want half of what he's gone out there and done is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, it's hard to say, who knows, maybe if they were together for 15 years. So I don't think they were together, he's just, in his scenario, if they were together for 15 years since the beginning and she didn't work because she was constantly making him food, massaging him at the gym, doing all types of stuff for him, yeah, she could maybe understand it, innit? So I think he just threw in the, if she was there 15 years.
First of all,
So I don't think
okay.
she was there for no 15 years.
Yeah, but first of all, I don't think he's a reliable source to go with. First of all, you're my colleague, so you would not know what's going on in my personal life. So I don't think him saying, because where did the original 15 years come from?
No, that was just him just saying, if she was there for 15 years,
Okay, so I think
he
he's
just plugged
responding
it.
to reports that she was there for 15 years. He's questioning that because he didn't know. That's what it sounds like. The same way he's questioning why it was that she wanted everything else, that 15 years, he's questioning her saying 15 years. And he's not, sorry, that's not a reliable source to go with. No one can tell me how long I've been with a man. You weren't the one in a relationship. So him questioning whether they've been together for 15 years because you don't know. Sorry, that doesn't, for me personally, that doesn't count. Some of my girls don't know the guys I've dated. And they're my girls, I've seen them for brunch. It's something I want to share.
But basically, I want us to look into it, yeah, because I'm thinking to myself, all right, if she was a wife, right, if she just became a wife and they split up 6 months later, I'm not too sure many people will be even contesting this.
I think they would. They would.
Well, okay. Put it this way, in terms
But
of
look
like,
at Jeff Bezos. How long was the wife there for? And some people still had stuff to say.
she was there, yeah, she was there for mad
Yeah, but that's the
long,
thing though. But that's the thing. Some people still had something to say, and that woman put in a shift. So
1
imagine
year.
getting married and then saying you left after 2 months.
What did you say, bro?
Israel, no. And his
Adesanya.
ex-girlfriend, and his ex-girlfriend, Charlotte Powdrell, were together for about a year. They met in 2019 and broke up in 2020.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you for that information, Brent.
You're chatting rubbish.
What's the source though? Sorry, before I start thanking people, doing thank you speeches.
Bad.
Bad.
My helper, my AI helper.
man.
That's
It's made by
very-
Google.
I didn't see that. That's the same source as Rap TV. I ain't doing that. I'm gonna see that shit. Bad.
Wait, I need to find this. Yeah.
Oh, you don't believe me? You don't
Who,
believe me?
E-Man?
Yeah.
What? I don't believe you. No, I believe you.
1 year is brazy.
1 year's wild. And half. Auntie.
1 year and half as well. She's taking liberties.
She's definitely taking a piss.
It's, yeah. Is she a fighter herself?
No, I don't believe so.
Because being an athlete's girl, it's not easy,
Because if she was a fighter herself, then she would have been with him in the gym, or like she would have been had help towards like his routine and.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I thought the 15
Like,
years makes sense for me.
You get what I mean?
If you're
Yeah.
helping his routine, like I don't have to be boxing with him, but in terms of diets and all that kind of stuff, and like I'm very much there for you, and whatever. I can understand that, but 1 year. What did she see in 1 year that she thinks
And how did she?
Well-
How did she just miss out on being a wife? Did he propose or something?
No, I'm basically now adding
you
that
know,
into this
We
scenario.
can do a shift for the propose.
Fernand's a
through hoops.
Capricorn.
Huh?
He's a Capricorn.
That's great.
Sorry, bro.
I hate when you say bro, It's so annoying.
Apparently, yeah. So this is basically what this other website has said. Yeah, Charlotte, who doesn't have any kids for her ex Israel, believes that she has a stake in his wealth for supporting him through the years to become a UFC champion, and because they dated for a very long time. There's no length of period, length of time that's been said, but they dated him for a long time.
Okay,
But yeah.
fair enough.
It's mad because the whole half thing, I'm always onto them for that anyway, yeah. I'm not saying that there's not something to be said, yeah, but she ain't got kids in that.
Nope.
You get me? So when there's kids and when there's family involved and all that, it's different because someone's got to keep this home in order, yeah, together and that. I'm not saying she's not. I don't know if they live together. Well, they must probably live together.
Yeah,
but,
probably live together. Yeah.
yeah, but they live together as two like obviously they're not single, but you know what I mean. Two individuals like that are well off with money. Like, there's not even nothing to really. There's not really nothing to really keep. If she's just there. What's she saying? Oh, he was chopping me for all this time, so he needs to give me half the money, basically.
Basically, she says she supported him being a.
We need to
UFC
work out
champion.
what support looks like.
That's what I was gonna say, because I think that I can be with a man who's got a certain type of career, say he was a fighter, whatever, and we don't have kids, but I could be of vital support with his journey and whatever in terms of like your diet, in terms of making appointments, in terms of like even like say like I could even be doing like business stuff, so your admin, you don't have to worry about anything but to go and train. Like this is it. Like I can make life to a point where you don't have to worry about anything else, but you just training and making sure that you win the fights. And if we broke up, I wasn't a wife, but if we broke up after like maybe a decade long and your career soared, and I have been a vital point of that, because if I take a day off, you'll feel it. I can understand wanting some money. I don't know that I would always go for half. I let my lawyer deal with that. I'm going for something.
It's definitely not half.
Do you know what I mean?
But I
But,
can understand
yeah.
why.
Yeah, but I think my point is just to say that I don't think kids have to come into an equation for it to count as you deserve something. Because when kids comes, that you deserve more, not even something. Do you get what I mean?
All right, let me add this to the situation. That same scenario you said, yeah.
Yeah.
What if he was paying you?
Okay, then that's fine then.
So then you wouldn't expect anything.
No, because I'm an employee. Do you know what I mean? So things I'm doing is as an employee. But for me, I wouldn't want my partners to pay me, because your success is my success. My success is your success as well. It's success as well. But if we get into that realm of paying now, I'm basically your PA.
Yeah.
And so really and truly as well, when it comes to food and stuff, I'm watching your diet and you got to eat certain things or whatever, you're going to have to pay me for that as well, because now I'm your chef. If you bring in pain into anything, that means that everything is going to be paid. And so casual things that people typically do in relationships that doesn't require a lot from their careers, that's cool. I won't be asking for anything then, because you paid me.
But when it comes to cooking and cleaning the house, does that fall under the paying banner?
No, because if we were in a normal relationship, you would
just do
contribute to
that.
it.
Okay,
So
cool.
if we're not going to do that, then that means we've got made.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? But if I'm going to be the one cooking and cleaning, and you're only going to pay me for the admin side of things I do for you, no, you're going to have to pay. Then if we broke up, I need payments for holding the house down while you were always fighting.
But why is that though? Because like you said, like in a normal relationship, if people split up, like no woman's gonna say, well, you know, the 3-4 times, maybe even 5 times a week that I cooked for us, like you need to pay me. No one says
because
that.
he was also contributing to the house in the same way. I'm talking about someone who is not able to, like, he doesn't cook, clean, doesn't do anything. His existence is just to go and train, come back home, come back to a clean house, come back to food made. Do you know what I mean? If we're in a normal relationship where we both pull our weight, in this relationship, because of his career, the only weight he's pulling is his career weight.
And financial though. So he's
That's
probably
fair.
paying.
Yeah, that's fair. But again, I'm still carrying a lot of the burden of the home is on me. that does
It's
deserve
not
some
the
kind of
burden if
payment.
he's financially covering the yard.
Yeah, but that's the thing
The
though, because you can
burden's
have.
on him.
No, but that's
Because if he don't financially cover the yard, you ain't got no yard to clean.
No, but that's the thing though, because I could be out working, but I'm not doing that because of your career. So it's not because I've chosen not to. It's because your career means that I have to take a step back in what I'm doing. So of course you're gonna be the one to bring the finances home. That's duh.
Yeah, but
If it's a thing where like I can go and work, like you don't need me in that way, then you can just hire a chef, you hire a cleaner, you hire this and that's fine. I'm not asking for anything then. But if it's a thing where it's like, oh babe, I want you to be the one to support me on this journey, do you mind taking a step back from your career so that I can further my career? When sacrifices like that are made, the court of law actually takes that into account because again, someone has to sit back for you to progress. And that's what happens when it's men or women and whatever way it works.
You know, I can't
That's
work
part
out
of it.
like
That's
that.
part of the life. The court actually makes provision for that. If one person in the household has to take, because sometimes it's the woman as well whose career is further along, and so the guy has to be the one who watches the kids and whatever. Of course, she's bringing the finances home, but just because she brings the money home, does not discredit anything that he does. The reason why you're the only person bringing the money home is because you're not able to do that because my career does not allow you to do that. It's just how it is.
Well, let me read some of what because like he was posting a lot of stuff online, yeah.
Yeah.
And he said, I wish I let you drift away into miserable existence because misery loves company and you love being a victim.
The pussy wasn't miserable though, was it?
Yeah, but
that's the thing though. I feel like even what he's saying, I personally I take things that people say post-relationship, like post-marriage, post-whatever, with a pinch of salt because you're speaking from a scorned place. Because why didn't you, if they were together for however long they're together for, you're telling me that he was doing MMA fighting and he was in misery for 15 years as a celebrity?
No.
BFFR.
No, but he's saying that, no, but I think it's more so because of how she's behaving now, isn't it? So he's basically saying, well, like, obviously I've seen certain things, this, that, and the third, right? But the way you're behaving now, it's now culminated, you know what I'm saying? And this is just you. I wish I kind of, let you go. But anyway, this is what he says here. I really hope you lawyer up and come for my assets, like you said. I'll be trying to affect my businesses like Puma. Please do so. Let's pay for it all. You have a sugar daddy now who will pay for everything. For someone who moves in silence, he sure does talk a lot about you guys' plans, LOL. Mentally draining me. Ha ha ha. You're pathetic. Even worse than that. Even worse than when you said, well, you're going to have to break up with me then. So that's what she said to him. Huh?
Who has a sugar daddy?
She does now.
So that's why he broke up with her? Because she was cheating?
No, I think she's I think
she's
they
moved
split
on
up.
to have a sugar daddy.
Yeah, she's moved on.
Oh,
now.
well, it's been a year and a bit, so maybe.
Yeah, so she's
Interesting.
found somebody now. Yeah, and I guess that guy is trying to influence her to
Serious?
Mm-hmm. He said that you are pathetic. Even worse than when you said. Apparently, she said to him, "Well, you're gonna have to break up with me then." Obviously, she didn't want to leave, right? He said, "You never helped me You've never helped me make money. Only ever cost me money. Now you think you deserve half? What an entitled, pompous brat you are. I spit on you. I dare you to start your stupid campaign. Your threats don't work here anymore. They're fired. You're responsible for your emotions. You don't care about my life because you've sold info about me. So I don't care about yours. I don't even hate you. I just don't care about you. I've not been in love with you for a while."
Uncle is really talking. It's a whole flipping press statement.
Yeah, man. In summary, I'm glad all this happened. I wouldn't change everything. I'm glad I finally have someone who can stand next to me and not feel like my shine takes away from theirs.
So he's with the
Confident.
new
He's got a
one.
new gal already.
Let me just see
Yeah,
what
yeah,
the new
yeah.
one is like. Give me.
He's enjoying life. As he deserves to, MMA UFC champion and that. But yeah. But this is the thing, though. The reason why I mentioned this whole thing about just missing out on being a wife, is like I was saying earlier. Obviously, like Esther said, like you don't automatically just claim half of somebody's stuff, just by being a wife. But in most situations, that's the starting point. All right, 50-50, cool. Now let's look into the dynamics of you lot's relationship, and then let's see what the split should be. But if a girlfriend was behaving like a wife, just like that wife was, but never got to the finish line, why is it that we kind of discount the woman? You know what I'm saying? And kind of be like,
This is the new one.
you get nothing.
Oh, you just had to type. I don't know, but do you know why that is? That's an
Started
issue.
dating 2021.
They've been dating since 2021.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know what it is? It's because society has really placed marriage as the prize. Because even when you said finish line, who says marriage is the finish line? In fact, that's where the race really begins.
Well, no, it's not.
To keep
Marriage
the
is the only
marriage.
tangible thing. That's why a gal shouldn't get. Was that where you going for cheeks, Brent? What are you trying
No,
to
I'm
do?
just clicking. I'm just trying to,
No, we don't know.
So you're just trying to see where he's coming from. He's trying to let him land. Brent's trying to let him land.
They
You
make
know.
your
I
point.
wanted to see if
Hinge.
she was
They make your point.
Brent's saying let him land.
He said this is the
Killy.
one that's actually supporting him. So,
So this is the one that's supposed since 2021. Men are full of shit,
But
bro.
actually supporting him. I bet
Men are
there's-
actually full of shit.
She's an
You were with
entrepreneur.
somebody for 10 plus
entrepreneur.
years. He's dumb.
She's an entrepreneur.
You were with somebody for 10 plus years, yeah.
We
And
don't
then you
know.
tell
We
me,
don't say this. We don't
Allegedly.
know if he was
We
with this
don't know.
person.
allegedly. Oh, now you guys don't want to talk about allegedly. You are pieces
I
of
told
shit
you.
in this room.
I told you what my
All
assistant
of you
told me.
shouted. You are
I
pathetic.
told you what my assistant told me, innit?
What?
My
Look how
assistant
all
told
of
me-
you quickly. I can't believe that.
Anywhere between 1 and 15 years.
No,
Hey, man.
that's not what the assistant told me.
What does this tell you? 6
That they
months.
were only officially dating between 2019 and 2020.
Can you imagine?
Before it was just
Right. Vibes, broken promises, and
all right.
rekindlings.
Broken promises.
Promises.
She's despicable, man. Like, half.
Listen, all the best of parties involved in it.
She doesn't deserve anything.
But why no though?
But
Sugar daddy's money's running dry. But to talk about your point though, I do think society places this whole thing about marriage being the prize, and that's why a lot of people are in the pickle that they're in. I think it's just I'm not really here for marriage being the prize and stuff like that. I think it's a very, very horrible narrative. But that's why a woman can be with a guy for however many years from blah blah blah, and they get discounted. Like if they broke up and she's like, I want this, I put this in. It becomes a case of no, you want his wife though.
yeah.
This time's look how long it takes some men, I would say all, some men to settle down, pick a wife.
And what
It's an
about
issue.
those men, I guess, who don't believe in marriage?
And that's the thing.
And the woman's okay with it, but then
Exactly.
after 15, 20 years of being with him, you split up and you don't have nothing.
But then
not
you
fair.
have something though. You have something though. Because the thing
Yeah,
is, something to
experience.
you is marriage. For other people, some people have very, very wholesome, beautiful relationships that are better than marriages.
Right.
So when we say like you left with nothing, no, I didn't. I probably left with somebody with more than someone who's been married for 40 years. And that's the issue because it's this whole thing about marriage being the prize, marriage being the goal, marriage. A lot of people are going into it and not doing it right. That's why I don't believe that the race, marriage is the finish line. Marriage is the starting line because you got to then be able to keep that marriage and have it going in a healthy way. Some people don't believe in marriages and they have very beautiful relationships. And they've raised healthy kids. They've got beautiful home. They love each other genuinely. They grow. They evolve. So I don't think marriage is the finish line. And if they break up, they won't regret it because again, this served the purpose it needs to serve in my life.
How do you feel about, obviously not to make it about you or whatever,
Yeah.
but just in terms of the Christian worldview now,
Yeah.
right? Where it's like you're saying, based on facts, there are loads of people who are not married, who have kids, solid home,
Yeah.
and they're cool. But under Christianity, for example, it's kind of a taboo, even Islam as well.
Yeah.
Like how do we kind of marry the ideas?
We can't because then you're telling people who don't believe in God to believe in God's ideas or God's instructions. It can't blend together. As a Christian, as much as I've said everything I've just said, and I do know people who are not married and have beautiful, like when I get married, that's what I want. I still believe in marriage. I have to be married. Like I'm not going to do a whole we can be life partners and whatever. That's great. I want to be a life partner in marriage. Do you know what I mean? But again, it's because of what I know God says about marriage. God loves marriage. There's blessings attached to marriage and stuff like that. So for me, I want to be part of that blessing. I want that. And I also want to raise my children to understand what commitment is and all that kind of stuff and blah, 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 blah. So you can't blend it. So yes, some people that are working out for them, yeah, absolutely. It's the same way you got, people that are not Christians and they're stupid successful. You might have poor Christians.
Sure.
So you can't blend it together. Everyone just has their beliefs. And I think whatever it is that works for you, works for you. As for me in my house or my temple, marriage works over here.
Makes sense. Yeah. So in this scenario, yeah, let's just say Brent's what's it called? Brad.
A Brad?
What's
Yeah,
your PA?
Oh, Bard.
Oh, Bard. Sorry,
Yeah, yeah.
Did you name him that?
Yeah.
Why is it Bard? Where's he from?
He's from ye old England.
Bard is the name. Is it,
Bard.
Yeah, he was a bard in the King's Courts.
I thought it was an Asian name, South Asian name.
Bard.
Iman, please. Please, just what were you
Take
gonna
the
say?
guy for free, man.
What were you gonna ask me?
Guy, man.
Finish this.
I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember.
You were saying something about like with this whole situation, this whole scenario.
If Bard asks the question.
Yes, if Bard is correct about this whole between 2019 and 2020, do you feel like she deserves something?
No, you're in a relationship. Because
Okay.
it depends on what the dynamic was. Like, ma'am, if she wasn't working but she had access to his card, was able to go shopping, ma'am, no.
Okay.
I only feel like if you're in a relationship with somebody, if my support and my presence here actually is linked to what's enabled you to get the success you've gotten, then I get something. But I can't just be a girlfriend and because my boyfriend is successful now, we break up and I'm like, I need something because no, girl, get your money up.
Do you feel like, okay, but let's put it this way. So, Marks, let's just say your biggest tune, in fact, your biggest 3 songs that everyone knows you for, was inspired by one babes that you was with at the time, You guys are split up. And she's like, wait a minute, why am I living this type of life? These times, Marks is everything now, like he's living, right? But I know full well that these 3 songs, I inspired it. I was even there when he wrote this particular. I even told him, no, change that word to this particular word. Do you feel like she should get some of your money, your wealth?
If she's involved in the writing process.
Yeah, she told you she changed them words.
One was like one word.
Listen,
She's like, oh,
listen.
This word rhyme.
Do you know
better.
what will happen? If I was in the room when Beyonce was making a song and I changed the word, I'm getting credits on Beyonce's album.
Even if it's
but damn right, I'm getting credits on flipping Mark's album too.
9%. If I tell Beyonce say this, I want my credits. You
Exactly.
better put my name in the book at the back of the album.
In the history.
You get me?
I need to be there.
Like if she was just there, then don't chat shit to me. But if she was involved in the process, she actually helped the songs. Then fair
And that
play.
word that she changed.
I mean,
was
I don't
the
know
verse
what her
that went-
percentage is, but if she really did do that, fair play to her. Come and get yours, man.
Okay, all right, she didn't change no words, but she inspired it. So let's just say your 3 biggest hits were about.
So you think Adele's ex-husband or ex-man should
All the
Exactly.
exes to line up.
should come and be able to get peas for them big rhythms?
No.
No?
You know, you don't deserve anything.
Someone like you and all that. You think her ex-man should be able to get peas because
The
she
guy
wrote
who
someone
made
like
her
you?
set fire to the rain. My friend, if you know you're gonna sit down somewhere. No, man. Don't be silly.
No, because the reason why I'm saying that is because you were saying earlier that if she's not working, for example, she's looking after the household, even though you ain't got no kids and this and that, it's allowing him to maybe go to the gym, train, or go to the studio and write all the time, and he doesn't have to think about anything else. His food's prepared, this and the third. He should get some. She should get something.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But where's the line drawn? Because you can apply it to anything, surely.
Nah, I think the line is drawn when I have to step back in things that I'm pursuing to enable you to go further.
Okay.
That's where the line is drawn. If I'm in a relationship and I just like to cook for my man because I know you're always busy and do this and whatever, I'm doing that out of the love that I have for you. If we break up and you get promotion, I'm not going to be asking for percentage for the time I put in. If, however, I now have to take a step back in what I'm doing personally, and we sat down and had a conversation, not me doing it on my own accord, but like we actually sat down and had a conversation like, do you know what? For the progression of this family, this home, our lives, I need to put in extra work, extra hours at work and do this and do that. So what is your career saying?
No,
like,
man.
then
Girlfriend
yeah,
ain't
then, yeah.
nothing. You get me? Remember, girlfriend ain't nothing. Trust me. All these things, they're all just social constructs. Like, and the proof's in the pudding when stuff like this happens. Like, just saying you're a man's gal don't get you nowhere. Do you know how many people was someone's gal, and they dropped at the last hurdle? Could have been a matter of hours that they broke up and that person shot onto stardom or whatever it may be in their life or got that big deal or whatever. You being the gal doesn't mean nothing because it's not a thing.
Do you know
It's
this-
not
do you
a
know
real
this is
thing.
killing me?
The marriage is at least something tangible. You get what I'm trying to say? It's the law of the land and the Lord. God came together. The government came. Everybody came and sanctified this. You get what I'm trying to say? It's something. Being a man's gal ain't nothing. Just you're my girlfriend and you're my boyfriend. Ain't nothing.
Do you know what's killing me? Women, yeah. Women actually have to do what it is that works for them. Because women will be in talking stage for 40 years and 40 nights. And a guy will say to her, yeah, but you're not my girl though. Now we're hearing live and direct on a Tuesday morning that even if you are that girl, yeah, but you're my wife though. Oh!
No, because if you liked, Beyonce warned you, if he liked it, he would have put a ring on it.
Finished. This is why you actually cannot live for, you cannot be chasing these, like you actually cannot look at, what's it called, marriage and stuff like that as a goal. Because depending on who you're dealing with, you never win. And you need to know who you're dealing with. You know who you're dealing with. Because certain men will really say to you, yeah, but you are my girl though. Okay. Tell you you're talking exclusively, first of all. Yeah, but you are my girl though. Now you're the girl. Yeah, but you are my wife though. What's next after being the wife?
You're not my mom.
That's it. You're my mum. So women are always. You will never win. You will never win. Ay. I can't believe this.
Well, anyway.
Hate to see it.
I think we can wrap it up there, man.
What are the benefits of marriage outside of religious leanings, Emmanuel? Why should men get married?
Tax purposes, and I'm joking.
No, you're not joking. But there are benefits of being married. Get some discounts.
I mean, I guess it's just like having a girlfriend, though, isn't it? But I guess that security, that support, all them beautiful things, isn't it, that you kind of I guess are experiencing with that particular girlfriend, or boyfriend or whatever. But I guess in you guys' mind for forever. You know what I'm saying? I never forget, I remember in one of my previous jobs, some years back, there was a lady who got married and she was like probably I would say about 50 something, right? And she was with obviously her man for X amount of years. I said, like, what's the difference? Like, you know what I'm saying? She was like, well, for some reason, after we got married, it's almost like I cared a bit more. You know what I'm saying? Like, I cared about his well-being, his life a bit more for some reason. She doesn't know why, but it's like, it just seemed like maybe the investment was a sure bet, I think. That's just me adding that bit. The investment was a sure bet. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. I think.
For men who have options and money and security, financial and whatnot, why are they getting married? Because they have to abide by marriage laws, right? Only have one woman. Don't cheat on her.
Yeah.
Because you might lose everything or lose half of it. So why should men get married?
Yeah, I can't answer all them purposes.
It's too difficult.
No, because the reality is, I as you know, I like to base certain things on stats, innit? So, like, I feel as though for both men and women, nowadays, if you look at just the stats for marriage and divorce rates and stuff like this, I feel as though it doesn't really work for people. You know what I'm saying? And this is why I think what Esther said before is important. Like, when you're married, I guess, under your religious beliefs, and that person is also, believes the same sort of thing as you, I think that's kind of the main thing that's going to kind of, or at least you hope, will kind of keep you going till death does you part, innit? Because otherwise, what really is there? I don't think marriage is like it was 100 years ago. You know what I'm saying? There's an out. And I think that's people's mentality. You know what I'm saying? So
you'd advise
things have changed.
People like Margs never to get married because why? What benefit? If he came to you and said, "Well, should I get married?"
I mean, I'm
not religious.
Yeah, but again, it's all down to each individual, and you know what I'm saying. But like,
ask him the question, Margs.
Ask him the question.
Yeah.
What's the question?
Why should I get married?
Oh, why should I get married, man?
I mean, I would ask you a bunch of questions, man, about the woman.
Go on.
This guy. Okay.
To find
The
God.
pressure is getting worse.
If you find love, you find God.
Mm.
Who said that? What kind of stupid quote is that? Who said that? Tumblr.
Well, no, because they say to find
If you find a woman, you find a good thing. He who finds a wife finds a good thing.
to truly find. If you find God, you truly find love, innit?
Now if you're a witch, mate, you ain't find nothing but stress. You ain't find nothing but receding hairline.
Well, you can find a woman without getting married, right?
Yeah.
This good thing can be given to you.
Yeah, but then you have to make an honest woman of her. You have to marry her.
What does that mean?
Honest woman. of her.
Sorry. So, making an honest woman means that you have to marry her?
That's how you make her honest.
So you're quoting stuff from... How? What does it mean?
She's not married. She's dishonest.
Dishonest.
She's a
You see
harlot.
me with a dishonest woman every day.
Yeah, she's not married. She's a harlot. She's dishonest. I don't know.
Aye.
This is what they told me. I'm just going from just going from the books. I don't know. You Google it. What's the history behind? What's the story behind the term making her an honest woman? What is
I have
that?
no idea. You know?
Where does that come from? What does that derive from, Brad? Like, cause
I will ask my assistant.
Yes.
I was just because I didn't make up that term, so I don't understand what it means. Probably.
You like saying it because it sounds nice coming to your mouth. But in this day and age, Emmanuel,
Yeah.
do women have more reasons to get married than men?
I think so because I don't want to sound pessimistic though. I don't want to sound like that. You know what I'm saying? But again, just I'm speaking about this outside of a religious context. I feel like because at the end of the day, like we spoke about on the show before, yeah, this country is no longer a Christian country; it's a secular country, right? So people are kind of doing their own thing to some degree, and so if religion or God being at the center of a marriage is not the thing that's keeping you together, the thing that you kind of go back to when there's issues, this and the third, whatever, right? You're just going to base it on just how you see the world. And I feel like the world is telling you there's an out. And a lot of the time, based on law, women seem to gain. You know what I'm saying? So there's an incentive there. If it works for you, then you've got security, you've got the man you love, this, that, and the third. If it doesn't work for you, well, then you've got the house. You know what I'm saying? You've got
You're
all
saying
types of
that
stuff.
women benefit more from marriage than men.
I think typically, yeah.
Tatenda, I hope I'm saying it right. Tatenda.
Yeah, it's tender.
Yeah, she says marriage actually benefits men more than women. Do you agree, Marks?
Marriage benefits men.
Yeah, more than women.
Why?
Do you agree or not?
Who benefits more from marriage, men or women? Women, probably,
Why?
because they need men.
That's it? Do you agree, Manuel?
That men benefit more.
Yes.
How?
Yeah, how?
Because Tatenda says the stats don't lie.
What
Women have-
stats is she
Women
going
have
for?
less she's just buying right now. Women have less incentive to get married.
Yeah, but what are the stats? What's the benefits? What's the beneficial stats we're working with? Like, what are men? Are men in
Rebecca
marriage
dropped something.
more productive? What's the
Women's life expectancy drops when they get married.
Oh,
Increases
then
when they're married.
that's definitely for men.
Whilst no, men's actually increases.
Is that the benefit she's talking about?
What if it is?
Y'all
It
live
makes us
longer.
live longer. It sounds like a
And
good
we
stat to
and
me.
we live less. Because the man,
I mean, if you're living
lesbians,
longer,
man.
if you're living longer
they cracked it.
and you got stress, and your hairline is over here, and your knees are not working correctly, then you might as well die.
It's funny though because when you look into why all that stress is coming,
Yeah.
it's because the man is subpar. Subpar.
Well, she's
You
saying,
know,
what do women benefit? No one can answer her.
That's the thing because I
You got
want to know
someone
what
to
it is
look
that
after
women
you
benefit
now.
from.
You got your man, your whole life now. You're patterned. You got
Okay, Tatenda, do you want to get married? If so, why? It's that simple.
Because I actually want to know what it is that women benefit from marriage.
So why do you want to get married?
If you don't benefit from it, why do you want to get married?
Yeah.
It's
why?
not about me.
It's,
No, you. I'm just saying
For
women
Esther,
generally.
it's the religious stuff.
Yeah, but it's more. Yeah, it's more than religion, brother.
Yeah. Okay. Take Esther out of it. How is it the religious stuff? What is religion preventing you from doing that
Having sex.
don't prevent nobody? Nobody except myself.
Except yourself. It's too late.
But you know what I'm trying to say? Religion don't stop people from engaging in practices.
Yeah, but do you know what it is though? it's funny that you guys want to know why it is women want to get married, but you confidently said that women benefit more. Tell us how women benefit more, and the answer is just, well, she's got a man.
No, that's not what it is. I
you.
was talking about in terms of like the stats, like in terms of you get what you want, right? In
Which
terms
is the
of
man.
no, whatever it is that you want from the marriage, right? Whatever it is, right? But also, if it breaks up, you tend to walk away in a better position than a man does. So that's what I'm basically saying. Is that
The men have a
because if
the men have a
is,
duty of care to look after the women, even once they broke up with them, by law.
You can't be telling me that's a benefit.
That's not a benefit.
Only
When you break
applicable
up.
after you break up.
The benefit comes post marriage.
no,
No, that was a different. I was making a different point, but
No, because
it's not a benefit
with
after.
those, that depends on the dynamic. Because if it was a case where the woman is the more successful one, the man also walks away with something. Ask Mary J. Blige's man.
Yeah,
Even though he was getting paid the whole time, by the way.
Yeah, but in most situations, right, that's just not the case, isn't it?
In most situations, I feel like more people walk away with nothing. The only time we
For
ever
marriage?
Yeah.
No.
If the man has nothing, what am I walking away with, please?
Yeah, but that's different then. Then you didn't
It's
really
not.
help him build anything.
It's not
Then
because he has
didn't-
nothing. But
That's
that's
what I'm saying.
they both have nothing.
That's
So we're
what I'm
both
saying.
living with nothing. And that's the reality because a lot of people are not financially well off. These things about, the woman walks away with half of this, half of that, those are in the people that are wealthy, not in the layperson. If you've got any friends that are divorced, ask them what it was that, their ex-wives walked away with. If they weren't, if they were not rich, if they were not rich people.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying to you. But like in those situations, because that would kind of be like a control in the experiment because like there's nothing to kind of split, you know what I'm saying? But in the situations where there's stuff to split, of course the courts say that they try to make it fair. Like it's split in the actual words they use is fair, right? But typically it seems, again, I don't have the necessary stats, but it seems like women tend to walk away with most things, you know what I'm saying? So unless it's a prenup and things of that nature, but yeah.
The phrase "making an honest woman out of her" is a euphemism for getting a woman pregnant and then marrying her. It is a sexist and outdated phrase that reflects the double standards that have traditionally existed between men and women. The phrase is thought to have originated in the 18th century, when it was used to describe the practice of men marrying women who had become pregnant out of wedlock in order to avoid social shame.
So there you go. He breeded her up, and then everyone was going to find out she was pregnant, and it was going to think. So the man made an honest woman out of her, married her, saved her the shame.
So you said the benefits of women getting married is
He made an honest woman out of them.
after
they break up.
No, after you've knocked her up.
No, that's how it started.
But remember, he gave her a blessing.
Has it changed? No.
What they're saying, what the meaning behind it.
Yeah, when you use it, what do you use it for?
Reclaimed it. What are you talking about?
It's redefined. So imagine we reclaimed it,
I reclaimed the word.
To be fair, I feel like I personally feel like with marriage anyway, I feel like marriage is a good marriage, not one that's based off foolishness, is beneficial to both people. Like I listen to a lot of married couples and married couples and stuff like that. And they both add value to each other's lives. So it's not a thing where the woman benefits more and she's lucky to be with me. No, he's letting you know that I'm blessed to be with her.
100%,
I'm blessed to have her. And that's the energy that it should be. And that's the kind of marriage that I want and I'm going to have.
Who would lose out more if men or women were to basically hold out and call people's bluffs? Who would lose out long term more, men or women?
I think men would.
Not getting married.
What was that question, sorry?
Not getting married.
Not getting married.
Yeah, well, obviously,
What's the question?
We're talking about who benefits more in marriage, right? And we obviously have some women in the chat saying men benefit more, women don't really need to be getting married, and men are saying the same thing, blah, 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 blah. But if we called each other's bluff, right, for the next 25 years and decided we're just going to be doing what it is that we are preaching on social media, who in the long run would benefit more, and obviously the other would...
I think women will benefit more,
Why would they benefit more? If at the age of 21, let's just say it's 21, and they say for the next 25 years, I'm going to basically see what life is like without men marrying a man.
Yeah.
Tell me how it is that women will benefit more.
So-
Now, I'm not disagreeing with you. I just
No, I know, babe. With women, I feel like a lot more women would focus on like the careers that they would do. They will focus on their careers.
Yeah.
I think a lot of women find satisfaction and happiness and joy in that careers and feeling and being successful kind of thing. I also feel like with women as well, women have a lot of community.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So women, we lean on each other.
Yeah.
We are companions and whatever, like comes, a lot of women that love their partners, they love their friends in the same way. There's that community. Do you get what I mean? So I really feel like it would help women evolve because if you look at how with women, since when women have been allowed to vote, they've been allowed to work, women have only just gone better and better. And them doing all of that, focusing on all of that stuff has meant a lot more women are deferring having children, are deferring getting married and stuff. So already, it's not an experiment, but we're seeing it in real time already where a lot of women are actually deferring and putting that back because I get to live for myself. Like my life is not going to revolve around being married and having kids and whatever. I honestly feel women will benefit more from it, you know?
And those women who've chosen that, are their lives more enriched than the other option?
I think yes.
Yeah?
I think so. Because
Okay.
I've actually been recently having a lot of conversations with women who got married younger.
Yeah.
And they tend to get divorced when they're older. And when they get divorced, it's like to freedom because it's like they're rediscovering who they are. They're knowing who they like. It's more to do with self.
Yes.
And that's all links to how it is that women are raised. You're not raised for yourself to know yourself. You're raised for other people to serve the man that you're going to be with. Whether it's your father, whether it's your brothers, whether it's your husband, your sons. Do you get what I mean? So when the women who get married young, like I say young, like in their 20s, like early 20s or whatever, when they get divorced, and the statistics show that they do, it's like a new lease of life. I am a different person. I know who I am now. It's like there's more joy.
All right, that is a different conversation about getting divorced after you've already been going down the traditional route of getting married and this.
Yeah, okay.
I'm talking about before, right?
Yeah.
So you mentioned removing that aspect of having children by a certain age.
Yeah.
Because that's a big thing in this particular
Yeah.
thing, right? If you remove that pesky children factor, then women aren't going to be getting married. And as you said, it will unlock their happiness.
I think it will. Because you know what's funny? Because you hear a lot of women who are older, who've been told, you know, when you're 39, you should have had a kid. And they've got successful careers. And it's like in the back of their mind, they still hear that whole, your eggs are drying up, you're this, your eggs, your eggs, have kids. But not many of them actually stop to be like, okay, I'm going to tap out my career and do it. They still pursue their career. And then they get to 40 and they're still like, I've been here. Like, it's still there like that. So imagine taking all of that away. Taking that whole marriage is the prize. Taking away the whole idea about men being the prize. Taking away children, that is your life goal.
And where's that majority
Sick.
coming from? Is that society? Is that family? Where do you have to zone out from in order to basically achieve this happiness? Where these traditional whinings coming from?
You have to down for life. Because that whole thing about having kids at this age, blah, blah, most cultures and majority of cultures in society have that. Caucasians have it. Asians have it. Africans have it.
So it's the parents, basically.
That's not about culture, that's science.
No, wait a minute, please.
That's why it's across the board.
Hello, please wait a minute.
No, it's science.
Wait a minute. It's not just, that's the thing, that's why I say it's not just a family thing, it's society in general. Like even in magazines, you see, again, science, it's in everything. So you can't get away from that. The only way to get away from that mindset is you choosing not to subscribe to that mindset. You can't get away from it. Ever.
So you would need to be an absolute rebel and a stalwart in having just your own thinking and following your own path in order to basically detach from the matrix.
What do you mean?
In order to
As
find
in from
pure
this mindset?
happiness, you need to be able to block everything else out.
I don't necessarily think so, because that would then mean that getting in relationships and getting marriage is automatically a negative. It's not. So I don't think that is the only way to. That's not how you achieve happiness. Does that make sense? What I'm saying? I think your question is a bit.
That because now you've said that one should still get married because that might lead to happiness.
No, but it can.
No, but we were exploring.
Yeah, but
why wouldn't you get married?
No, but I was so why. What I initially said was answering your question.
Yeah.
You gave me two extremes. You gave me absolutes. You didn't give me a question where I could bring in other variables. You asked me a question, A or B, and I told you A will be the one to benefit more. Yeah. But that's me answering your question. That's not the answer to the conversation about marriage in general. Why do if marriage was attached to like toxicity and sadness and misery, why would I want to get married? Of course I wouldn't. It isn't. I told you guys, I watch and listen to a lot of couples who have very beautiful, healthy relationships and marriages. I don't believe getting married automatically is a death sentence. I think there is a lot of PR for that says that, but I personally don't believe that. Because again, if you do the relationship properly and you get to know someone properly and you're marrying them outside of the conditionings and how you've been raised and all that stuff, you're doing things properly. You're communicating, like, it's just so different. It's going to be healthy.
Remain, the majority of people that get married get divorced.
Yeah, and the people, and I'm not trying to be the majority, I'm trying to be the minority. And the minority
So
who
is
don't
that
get
the
divorced are the ones
majority?
that properly.
Me ask bad.
I think it's 50% now, you know.
Oh,
Yeah,
is
it's
it?
mad.
You
Oh,
said
is it
that
leveled
very
out now?
Confidently.
Yeah.
Hold up.
What are you saying?
Oh, it's leveled up since the last time you checked?
He just said it's 50% now.
Last time you did research?
Don't tag on to this point. From last time you did the stat check.
It was more than 50%, isn't it?
I said facts.
Imagine.
The majority of
That's
people
a
that
fact.
get
He said
married
facts.
Let me find
get
out.
divorced.
Is this UK based or just general? I'm gonna type it in.
Type in the whole world.
But
It's safer if you do the whole world.
it is right.
But the thing is, yeah, like you were saying, Esther, though, yeah, are all of these things really from society, right? As in just made up by the patriarchy?
Yeah.
Because I don't believe that's how life works. I think like Miles was pretty much, I think this is where he was going. It's science. You know, the biology is telling us the best time to do this particular thing is within this window. You know what I'm saying? Outside of this window, you now find yourself in a bit more difficulty. So it makes sense to do it that way. So yes, you may have the freedom to pursue your career and be great in it and maybe be the CEOs and, you know what I mean, and flourish,
Yeah.
right? But I think a lot of women kind of regret that sometimes because the biological instinct to be a mother, right, to bring children into this world and be nurturing, right, it's too late sometimes.
Do you know what I find funny about society? There is a lot of work that is done telling women what it is that they should have done by this age. You should be married by this age. You should have had kids by this age. And there is not the same energy being fed into men.
Because we
Women
don't.
are,
It's not
okay,
the
hey,
same.
don't silence the black queen. Don't do it, Marks. Let me land my point. No, you're dying for it. Let me land my point. A lot of women are told by this age you should have had kids. By this age you should have done that. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Men are not being told. Women at this age may not be able to have children. So you know what? Pick a wife. Settle down with her. We just heard not many minutes ago that I told you is how it works. We just heard many minutes ago that if you're a girlfriend, yeah, you're a girlfriend, but you're not the wife though. Do you get me? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How many men? We talk about a lot about what's it called, single mothers and blah blah. Are they single on their own? Single mothers are consistently being chastised. I do not see the same energy given to absent fathers. So there's a lot of the. Sorry, just wait a minute, breathe. There's a lot of women by this age should have done this and this age should have done that. Who are they doing it with? Where's the education for the men who are going to help them in doing this? It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't.
I agree with you in that the education should be going both ways, to the men and to the women, maybe in between nowadays. But you know what I'm trying to say? The men, right, need to get an education 100%. 100%, I agree. But I think the reason why it kind of seems lopsided, or is lopsided, I'll admit, is because of who the burden typically falls on.
Who does burden fall on?
The woman.
How can the burden for me to have a kid fall on me when I don't have sperm to put in myself?
No, that's what I'm saying to you. After the child,
burden is equal.
Wait. After the child is born, typically it's the woman that looks after the child more than the man.
And it's the time. It's the time scale. The burden's not equal because we're not on the same. We're not on the same.
You're on the same time that we're on.
We're not on the same time.
And that's what I'm saying. That's the problem. You're proving my point.
Yeah, but that's why the burden's on you because the onus has got to be on you because you can get to a point where you might not be able to have children no more or whatever. And as long as I'm here and breathing, I can do it.
I hear you, but it doesn't make sense to me.
But also, yes, but I'm like also talking about the actual physical burden. Those children, when those children are born, typically those children are staying with the woman. And so it makes sense that if I'm talking to my son, I'm talking to my daughter, I'll say, son, be careful, everything in the same way. But if I need to say an extra word, that extra word will go to to my daughter. Because at the end of the day, if something happens, typically, you've seen it in society, that man can just go about his business. Your life as a woman, though, has changed forever. You're going to look after that child in your house. You know what I'm saying? It may not be fair, But that's just biology, and that's just how things work. And this is why I think a lot of the time, a lot of the emphasis is on the woman to be like, yo, this, that, and the third, this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? You talk about single mothers. Yes, of course. It's an equal thing. But a lot of the time, it's kind of like saying this. It's kind of like all of us here betting on a particular thing, right? Betting that Brent's going to turn up tomorrow and do what he's doing. And, for example, if Brent don't turn up, for example, put it this way. It's like Brent, us betting on Brent turning up here, right, to open up the studio at a particular time. And both of us, rely on it, fine. But the difference may be that if I live here, it means more to me. Because if Brent don't turn up, I'm outside with nowhere to live. You could come here. Yes, we both need the studio, but you can be like, okay, hit a certain particular time, I'm going to go home. But if I live here, I'm relying on Brent to come here and open the studio. There's more burden on me to have to sort out my life. This is typically how it is with men and women. There's more responsibility. It may seem unfair, but that's just how it is. The child be looked after most of the time by that woman. And so it seems like it seems to make sense to actually emphasize and stress the importance of being careful to the woman, because you're going to be the one left with the situation, unfortunately. I don't think it's a case of trying to make the women feel bad. At least I don't think it comes from there. Personally, I don't think so. But, I could be wrong.
All right, so I got some facts. I don't know where you guys got 50% from, but I'm seeing here the divorce rate is the number of divorces per 1,000 people in a given year. It varies widely from country to country depending on a number of factors, including social and cultural norms, economic conditions, and legal requirements. The following are some of the highest and lowest divorce rates in the world. Highest is Russia, 4.7 per 1,000 people. Lowest is Guatemala, 0.4 per 1,000 people. Where are we getting 50% from? The United States has a divorce rate of 2.5 per 1,000 people, which is slightly higher than the global average of 1.8 per 1,000 people. Where is this 50% coming from?
What do you mean 2.8 per 1? So what percentage of people is that?
Well, it's definitely not 50.
How do you know?
Because it's not 500 per 1,000 people.
Yeah, but of what? People just generally, or people that get married?
Yeah, it's not
This
all
is
people.
marriage rate here. What are you talking about?
Yes, but is that 1,000?
Divorce rates.
Is that 1,000 people or married people?
Divorce rates. This is
what?
obviously my.
Is this from Bard?
My Bard might be absolutely incorrect, but Bard is connected to Google. Like I said, it's Google's ChatGPT.
Okay.
Someone in Wagwan.
Let me have a quick look at this.
50 is a lot.
50 is high, isn't it?
All right, even the standard, quick one, yeah. Nearly half of all marriages end in divorce, with a new census showing which areas in London and UK have the highest rates. The divorce rate in the United Kingdom is estimated at 42%, with many believing these rates have increased in recent years. This was an article 24th of February of this year.
That's just below half.
Yeah, even the standard. So, yeah, man.
No.
That is just below half.
No, it definitely is. But it's not.
Is that accurate?
It's not matching up to what my results say. It doesn't match
what
up with
Bard
my
said.
results.
You know what? I never had proper stats for that, but that's just something that you kind of just always heard. I don't know if that's like American stats or whatever, but I've just always heard that.
But to be honest, 50% is a lot. When you come out of what you've seen in your hood,
Yeah.
even though if it is that you don't, you would still probably say people are still remaining in marriages that are miserable.
No, everybody that I know that's been married from my life is divorced now. But they didn't start married; they're still
But
married.
if you go abroad, let's say go back home, you're not seeing them type of like frequency that you see around your hood, right?
We say the marriages last.
Yeah, even when they're miserable, they still last.
Yeah.
So 50 in my head is a lot.
It is.
It sounds crazy, to be honest with you. The amount of marriages that go on, to think that half of them end in divorce it does kind of sound inflated. But is there a time period on it? You know what I'm trying to say? There's like, you can take them numbers. If you take that information from people that are in marriages, yeah, and then it's like, okay, cool, these are not divorced, boom, 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 and you're saying, right, but then like 10 years later, they get divorced. They have to still go back to the same pool of because their marriage was just longer. They still got divorced, You get what I'm trying to say? Their marriage is just longer, so it's skewing the stats. I don't know how it works out. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Like so. Maybe it is that high because it doesn't matter. You're not seeing it in high periods because some of these marriages are lasting long times. But the bottom line is they end in divorce. Does that make sense? So maybe it is that high.
Well, let's just say it is 50, even though I don't believe it is.
42. Use 42.
42. Let's go 42.
Let's round it up.
Let's round it up
If,
for real.
if
50,
it's 42,
45.
you might as well say it's 50,
That's true.
right? And that's like, well, the hell? Why then?
Why do people even
Why
bother?
then?
But this is what I was saying to you earlier, though, Brent. Because, like, this is why people are questioning. Like, what really is the point?
And
Half of
I
us will
understand
just,
back
you know
in
what I
the day, right? I understand back in the day, but no. And you guys keep saying science. What do you mean? Like,
Biology.
Yeah, you keep saying science.
It's biology.
Children.
Statistics of women not being able to give birth.
All
No,
right,
Esther said it was different cultures pushing out this agenda that women need to have kids by a certain time, need to do things by a certain time.
Yes.
It's not that's nothing to do with
But
culture.
what I
That's
said it's
that's
not
biology.
just though. It is culture.
It's
Part of
also
it is all
education.
It's all together.
It's everywhere.
It's
I didn't say
education,
it's
it's
just
science.
culture. I didn't say it's just culture. Science plays a part. Culture plays a part.
Yeah, but
Religion plays a part.
But there's
all of it does.
there's necessity behind it. Like these cultures ain't saying this for no reason. They're not doing it for no reason.
I don't
It's
think everything that
science.
culture. That means that you're basically saying everything that culture says is right.
No,
Right,
not
culture
everything.
is
No,
very
but
right.
regarding the women and having children and finding a man by a certain time in their life and stuff like that, yeah, it is out of necessity, and it's because of that science behind it, and it's because of the way we've seen it play out, yeah, that men can keep going and uprooting and keep going until they're 80 if they choose to, yeah. Then women will get left behind.
But it's stupid to me because you're telling women that by this age of 25 or this age, they should do this, they should do that. Who are they doing it with? You're not educating the men the same way. I hear you saying I hear you saying the burdens on women. It makes no sense that more of the burdens on women when it's not something they can control. Who am I getting married to? Who am I having children for? When you're not telling the guys the same thing. It doesn't make sense to me. You're telling me that by the time I'm 30, I should have at least had 2 kids.
No,
with
but
whom?
even if you find your man, though,
wait a minute. Because the guys that you're not educating men to be like, do you know what? Women can't have kids beyond 30, or women are going to struggle to have kids beyond 30. So find a wife before this age and get married to her. You're not telling men that.
Even
we
if you
literally
find
just
your
talked about
man,
guys doing prolonged talking stages, doing prolonged girlfriend, and then I don't understand. How
even
you're
if you
missing this.
find your man and you come together and you are both 21, yeah, and you decide to get married, yeah, and you are both 21, when you are moving forward and you are thinking about your future, yeah, obviously you're not going to think about your careers, the home, boom, 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 yeah. Just because of your biological clock and it's like you're saying, the things that are in the back of the woman's head there for good reason because time's coming on, yeah. The family side of things, yeah, it's going to be more on her. You know what I'm trying to say? Because he can just focus on work and home and money and whatnot, because we're thinking building. But you at some point are going to be like, we've got to look at kids at some point because the time.
Okay, I get the majority of the burden being on her to think about those things. But don't you think as her partner, you should also think about those things, you should consider that?
I think
How many women have you dated, have you been with, and you thought, actually, this age, she's getting to this age, maybe I shouldn't waste her time so she can go forth and actually try and find the person she's going to have kids with. Is that a thought that you think goes through men's minds?
Oh, 100%.
You think that men are not wasting women's time. They're considering that you're really going to look me in the eye and believe that. They are dating. Wait. They're dating women.
Yeah.
And these women are in their 20s.
Yeah.
And you're telling me he's thinking, you know, I'm not going to have my cake and eat too. I'm going to I'm going to leave this woman and let her go to go and find the person she's going to be with so she can have kids.
I'm not saying all
when
that.
When we've just said, no, because you were quick to agree with Marks. You're very quick to agree. Let me finish, please.
Go on.
Very quick to agree with Marks. When Marks just said that even if they were married in a relationship from 21 and blah, blah, it is for her to be thinking and bring it to the husband that we need to do this, blah, blah. In that example that he gave, he did not say anything about the man even having a thought about it. That's why I brought up that men should, yes, the burden will be on the women mainly. Yes, I can understand, I can agree with that. However, some consideration should be given by the men. So in what world are you telling me that there are men who are out here dating women when we talked about prolonged talking stages?
Yeah.
And this is not just something that is British. This is something across all cultures when it comes to men wasting women's time. You're telling me that there are men who are dating women and they sit there and they think, do you know what, I'm dating this 27-year-old, this 28-year-old. Women struggle to have kids post 30. Let her go, so she can go forth and find love of her life, and hopefully find a husband, and she can find whoever a partner who she wants to have kids with. You're telling me that men consider that?
This is what I'm saying to you. I'm saying yes.
That's crazy.
Am I saying all men? No, 100%. But do men? Of course. How do I know? Because I thought that way. So there are men out there. Of course they do. You have to remember, Esther, right? I'm not too sure if you said it in this particular way, right? So correct me if I'm wrong. That similar type of pressure that you got, right? Or maybe get, right? As being a Yoruba woman to want to get married, this and the third, right? And there's certain things you kind of need to do. That your brother somewhat got some type of training too, right? Is that what you said, or am I kind of skewing it?
My brother was raised to be a proper man, so he knew not to
there
waste
you go.
women's time, and he knew to settle down with a woman
There
and
you
have
go.
children. And he's a present father, an amazing brother, an amazing son. He's amazing in every way. He got the proper training that a lot of men do not get.
That's what I'm saying to you. So I'm trying to say to you is maybe it's a cultural thing, right? But a lot of Yoruba men, a lot of African men get the same type of pressure and training to be like, yo, when you get to this particular age, be conscious, have kids. You may not know, but I'm telling you for a fact, this is what happens.
I have a
Not
lot of
all.
I have a lot of friends who've dated Yoruba men.
Yeah.
I have dated Yoruba men.
Yeah.
I have friends who have brothers as well.
Yes.
That's right, babes. Press that horn as much as you want to press it. I have friends who have Yoruba brothers. They're raised in the same household.
Cool.
I will tell you, men and women are not always raised the same. If they're raised that way, it's an anomaly.
Yes, I'm not saying it's the same. Remember, I'm not saying that.
Yeah, but you're saying as if like it's like a majority. It's not a cultural thing. It's not a cultural thing that men are not raised to consider women's biological clock and raised to settle down. Women are literally raised, right, to want to get married by this age, blah, blah, blah. And then they're with men who don't want to settle. Like, do you know how wild that is?
Esther,
that we are raised, if at the age of 25, she start looking to settle down. But men are told they can what is it? What is that? Robert De Niro, whoever it was, that had a kid at 79 just last week.
Congrats.
Men, congratulations to him. Men are told that, you know what, you don't have to rush. You can, like, you've got time because your sperm does not expire, your sperm does not go dry, all that kind of stuff. I can't believe you believe what you're saying.
No, because it's true. I'm telling you, it's facts.
Okay.
Like, you're even saying it. Again, I'm not saying all men.
And it's not facts. That facts is starting to get my
Esther,
nerves.
I'm not saying it's all men. But you even said it with your brother. He was trained and raised to be this way.
And I gave you more statistics. I know more people than I know my one brother in my one household.
The point I'm trying to make is that it's not a case of, it's not a thing where men are just left to just be. What I'm saying is some families, men are raised similarly. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's the exact same pressure, but why would it be the exact same pressure? Because at the end of the day, it's more devastating, right, for a woman who, for example, gets to 40 and says, oh, you know what, I want to have kids now. It's an issue. But a man could be 40 and be like, I want to start now. It's not an issue. He can go and find a 25-year-old. And nobody would care. And so
do you see that as a problem, though?
For 40-year-old, what exactly? So I can answer the question properly.
You said about, you said that obviously women will be told at this age they should be thinking about kids, blah, blah. But then a man, what was it you said? A man is...
I'm basically saying that the effects of maybe getting to later in life, for example, when you get to 40, right? Yeah. It's more devastating for a woman than it is for a man. That's what I was saying.
But don't you think that? Do you think that that's an issue then, or do you think that makes sense?
What exactly is an issue though?
Like, do you think that it does make sense for women to be told by this age you should have done this, and because the pressure is going to be worse for you, and then obviously men are made to know that they're not going to have that. They're not going to have that pressure.
I don't think it's necessarily a case of... I don't think it should be because... Let me put it this way. I don't think it should be a case of, men should be kind of left to do so-and-so. I believe they should be given that same information as well, 100%. Because at the end of the day, you're going to be marrying or having children with a woman, right? That you're going to, I guess, kind of seek out at a particular age. But you have to remember this. If me and you are in the same car, right? We both have to go home. And you have strict parents, and I don't, right? I can afford to keep you out till 12 because I know what I'm going home to.
Absolutely.
If you go home to strict parents past 10, right, and you're going to get in trouble, yes, it will be a good thing to be like, Esther, look, let me take you home, this and the third. But the world is such that where not everyone thinks that way. So I think it's important for you to think that way and say to me, yo, I need to be home by 10. So please take me home. Or if before we get in the car, you let me know this and the third that I need to get home by 10. You know what I'm saying?
I get exactly what you're saying, but don't you think that if you wanted to see me the next day
Yeah.
and you knew how important it was for me to get home at a certain time,
Yes.
wouldn't you, because you want to see me the next day, wouldn't you also take on responsibility of I must make sure that she gets home on time?
If I care, yeah.
And
And
that's my thing.
this is the point I'm trying to make, but not everyone does.
It's not
And
about not
you
everyone
have
does,
to-
it's about that
So you
there's
have
no-
to care for yourself.
There's hardly any education.
Do you get where I'm coming from, though?
I'm tapping out.
Do you get what I'm saying, though?
I hear you. I don't get what you're saying. I hear you.
Okay,
That's what
cool.
I do.
All right, cool. All I'm trying to say is I understand your viewpoint, right? That in an ideal society, both people should care for each person. I understand that. But I'm also understanding that in society, not everyone's parents are the same. Not everyone has the same training. You go into the world and you just have to deal with the world how it is. And how it is such where men typically are not going to take on the responsibility of your biological clock. That's just how it is. It may not be fair. So you have to do it for yourself.
How does a woman do that for herself?
By being conscious about who she's maybe dating, but being conscious about decisions in terms of career, being conscious about maybe doing the whole freezing eggs thing, whatever it may be. But you have to make a decision for the betterment of yourself. You have to.
So do you think that if a woman is intentional enough, she will find the person that will react, like that will help her get there before the eggs are.
I can't necessarily. I don't think life necessarily works that way.
Okay,
But
so I'm just trying to find. I feel like we've spoken a
Trying to see
lot.
if it's all the woman's fault.
I'm trying to get to a solution because obviously men are not going to be educated. Because in all of these conversations, you have not educated once. I've heard you on this show for over a year. We're coming up like a year and a half now. And I've never heard you have so much vim for men to do better. Like there is pointing out what it is that women, the pressures women face in society. No, let me finish my point, please.
I'm saying anything.
So yeah, I've heard a lot of that. So I'm just trying, I think from this lovely conversation we're having, this very productive conversation that we're having on a Tuesday morning, I would just like to know how it is that all the women that are listening, myself included, because I am not married, I am single and I'm childless.
Yeah.
I would just like to know how it is that we can prevent this from happening, not just for us, because it might be too late for some of us,
Okay.
but for the younger generation maybe. So that's what I'm trying to get to. I want us to give people something productive to do. Because yes, she should look at certain men and gauge that, he's on the same wave, blah, blah. But, time and time again, statistics just show, let me know statistics, I think that's triggering the listeners at this point. But, it's not that easy. So I'm just trying to see how it is that we can come to a good resolution to further progress this wonderful, beautiful society that God has placed us in.
Well, I don't have all the answers in it, but my thing is this, right? I think, like just in life generally, right? You can do your part, and I think it kind of mitigates certain risks. It's not a foolproof thing. You may always bump into somebody who may want to waste your time or may not be. Forget the waste of time thing. Just may not be on the same wavelength as you at that particular point in time. I think it's incumbent upon you to kind of recognize those particular signs. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's your life. And I'm saying this to you, yeah, and I'm saying this thingy. It may seem kind of skewed, but this is what I would say to my own daughter. You know what I'm saying? I would say I'll give information and education to both my sons and my girls. But I would say to my daughter, yo, understand that this is on you because you can't control how other guys are raised out there. You know what I'm saying? Not everyone is like me, your dad. You're going to give information to both of you. Not everyone's like you, Esther. You're going to give information to both your daughters and your sons. But they're going into the world where everyone's different. You have to care about yourself. And as a woman, where your biological clock is ticking, like, I don't understand. We can't just say, well, the men need to be, yes, they should be, but what if they're not? What then?
Yeah, kind of like the single mother argument. Makes sense. What's it called? All the lovely ladies
Remember,
out there.
single mothers are not mothers by osmosis. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I bet.
Like, it's... Anyway, it doesn't
Tatenda
matter.
said it best. Ladies, do your cervical screening. It definitely helps.
So
100%.
when humanity starts being able to create babies in the pods without the women having to go through
Brent.
9 months, what use
That's the
is
solution.
men? Tell me what use is men for the women then? And
I think that might be the answer.
If the same shop that you can go and get the pods from, you can probably get a carer, right?
A one-stop shop
A one-stop shop.
for childcare,
Why do they
childbearing.
Women are outperforming men in these C-suite jobs, so they got money. They don't need that for finance, for security anymore. They've got dildos and stuff, right? Plus, they've got all these
brunches, so they got community with like other girls.
This is it.
We'll all bring our babies from the pods.
Why do they need men? Why do they need you? But to be honest, they could even use people like you who don't want the commitment, who just want to basically, pipe it, and go.
Not pipe it.
Well, maybe that's what they need men for, to get piped up.
But that's it.
That's enough.
So no marriage needed then.
Oh, okay. That's,
everyone's just
I don't
happy.
need marriage anyway, so man, take it off
You
the
don't
table.
advocate for marriage either, right? As a man.
I don't give a shit about no marriage.
This is it. So you should encourage, go on, put a PSA out. Women don't get married to us. I'll keep it up.
I'm not telling. I've never told anybody to get married. That's not the dream.
Put it,
I'm not.
frame it in a way where I can clip it. Don't respond to me. Like, make a statement so I can clip it.
Not clip it.
Don't waste your time getting married, man. It's for suckers.
Emmanuel, do you agree?
What about marriage?
Actually, no. Emmanuel's a sucker. He's not a sucker. He's married. Shit.
No,
Shit. Take that back. I take it back. Marriage ain't for suckers.
just I would say do whatever you want to do. Just do it with a person who thinks like you. Done.
That is the word.
That's it.
Well,
Right on time.
With that being said, let's get into more headlines.
All right. So our next headline, just waiting for my doc to load up, takes us, if I remember correctly, takes us to, the situation with this whole Trump and Russia relationship. Back in the day, 2016, during the Trump campaign, that's basically resurfaced again. So basically, a long-awaited report has strongly criticized the FBI's handling of its investigation into ties between Russia and the 2016 Trump campaign. In a 300-page report, Special Counsel John Durham said the FBI's probe lacked analytical rigor. Mr. Trump has vowed that Mr. Durham's report would uncover the crime of the century. The FBI said it has addressed the issues highlighted in the report. In the report, Mr. Durham, who was appointed by the then Attorney General William Barr in 2019, accused the FBI of acting on a raw, unanalyzed, and uncorroborated intelligence when it launched the probe. Among the various investigative mistakes it made were repeated instances of confirmation bias that ignored information that undercut the initial premise of the investigation, which was known as the codename Crossfire Hurricane. In a statement, the FBI said it had already implemented dozens of corrective actions. Had those reforms been in place in 2016, the missteps identified in the report could have been prevented. This is what was added in the statement. Next headline that I'm going to talk about a bit more in the People's Journal is basically about supermarkets and how they're being investigated by the competition watchdog over high food and fuel prices. The CMA, the Competition and Markets Authority, said it would look at whether a failure in competition meant customers were overpaying. Supermarkets said that they were working to keep food prices as low as possible, but an investigation into the fuel market, which has already started, has found that many supermarkets, or I should say some supermarkets, have increased margins on petrol and diesel. And that's it for the headlines.
Thank you. Let's get into some word on road gists. Okay, so yesterday I told you about the excellent Nigerian queen, Hilda Baci. Thank you very much. Who was trying to break the Guinness, on her way to breaking the Guinness World Book of Records for the longest cooking marathon by an individual. And the previous champion of that, the previous holder of the title is a London-based chef. Her name is Lata Tandon, and she had 87 hours and 45 minutes. And Hilda was attempting 96 hours. She got 100 hours.
Nice.
100 hours and 45 minutes, I believe. It looked like, I'm so proud of her, man. I knew she was going to go long because I was thinking if that was me in that situation and I was aiming for 96, obviously I'd be gassed I got 96, so I would have that extra adrenaline rush. Let's just make a nice round figure. What's the extra 4 hours?
And also, in my mind, I'm just thinking to myself, if you can get to 100, are you really tired? Like, you just keep going.
No, you're delirious at this point, though.
You think so?
You're definitely. Because you know that when you're too tired, and then when it's time to sleep, you struggle to sleep because you've been awake for so long that you can't get your... That happens to me. But I love the 100, man. Whoever tries to break that next, the girl works it out for them. But big up her, man. I'm really, really happy for her. I was hearing someone, I think my sister said to me that someone talked about they were going to pay for a trip for her to go to the Maldives.
Oh, sick.
Beautiful.
Nice.
But the opportunity she's going to get from this is going to be sick, man. I want a restaurant from her. I'm praying she gets a restaurant. I think it's going to be absolutely sick, man. Like, I'm so proud, ridiculously proud of her. It's crazy. But big up Hilda. Well done on that, sis. And then yesterday, social media went crazy because the Cash App founder, Bob Lee, who passed away last month, I believe. So basically, it turns out, that his killer is the sister of the woman he was having an affair with. Yeah, so apparently...
So it was a woman?
No, his killer is a brother.
Okay.
So he's having an affair with a woman. Her brother is the one who killed him.
Okay.
Trigger warning, stabbed him to death. So basically, apparently they actually know each other. And they're part of some underground party circle called the Lifestyle. So yeah, it's interesting, man. So I guess people are just kind of reacting to that and all that kind of stuff, but we'll see what happens. I don't know. I don't think there's more tea on whether things could be linked. And when he says affair, is that because Bob was married? Let's find out. He was married. Well, he was separated. Well, is that separated because he's dead now on Wikipedia? Do you get what I mean? I don't know if they were separated when he was alive. I don't know. But but it was labeled as an affair. So I guess maybe he was married at the time and maybe she's married as well. But a whole mess, man. Sometimes your killer be right there. You don't even know it. But yeah, I'll keep an eye on all the details and stuff like that. If any more tea comes out about that, I shall let you know. But let's get into People's Journal.
Another quick one.
Very quick.
Actually, yeah, quite easily. Anyway, so welcome to People's Journal. I'll give you the news from an economics point of view. So the first thing I want to talk about is, you guys know Vice, yeah? The company that does,
Media stuff.
Yeah. So basically, the company behind the website Vice and Motherboard. You know Motherboard?
Sounds familiar.
I haven't heard of Motherboard. I feel like that's something that Brent would know about.
A motherboard?
No, Motherboard, the company.
Yeah.
Cool. So basically, the company that's behind Vice and Motherboard, they filed for bankruptcy in the US, man, and it's set to be sold to a group of its lenders. So Vice Media Group, which was once valued at $5.7 billion, right, could be taken over for $225 million. Big drop. So yeah, man, it's looking crazy for them, man. They're saying that they're still going to be operating during the bankruptcy process and all that type of stuff, and they expect to emerge as a more financially and healthier and stronger company in the next 2 or 3 months. You know, obviously when they get taken over and whatnot. But what they're pretty much saying is hopefully nothing will kind of change in terms of the output and the content that they're giving the world and this, that, and the third. But this is basically what's been going on behind the scenes. They're filed for bankruptcy. Next thing I wanted to talk about is basically this investigation into whether people like us, the shoppers, are being overcharged for food and fuel. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. The chicken price has gone up.
Probably. I'll leave it as a day. I'm gonna have to go and get food and fuel. So
Yeah, that's a double. That's too much.
this is crazy.
You know those you haven't spent money in 3 days and it all comes out at once in one day. Like, don't be silly.
Are you saying overcharged because it's just a lot of money, or overcharged?
Overcharged because when I go to
Food
Tesco,
and fuel should be free. Okay.
I think it's overcharged because when I go to Tesco, something is £20, but if I got a club card, it's £6, and I know with the £6 they're making a profit, so I know I'm being overcharged. I know it. And when they all put out their profits for the year, it's more than Rishi Sunak is making. I know I'm being overcharged.
Well, there you have it, people. Esther's done her thingy and
My research.
and giving you basically what I guess people feel as though the Competition and Markets Authority will effectively find out, which is that we're being overcharged, man. Supermarket fuel prices apparently, well not apparently, we all can kind of testify to this, are roughly 5p more expensive per litre in 2022 than pre-pandemic levels. But they have been going down though, innit? The other day, was it just yesterday, I got fuel for like 152. So Yeah, I think that's the cheapest.
You get diesel?
Yeah. What's petrol now?
I get it for like 140. It's 140 the normal one, but I've been since Venus and Loons came round, I've been getting the premium one.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
You feel the difference?
Influence? No, I just get
It's
my
not
car
lasting
and go.
longer or nothing?
No, it's definitely not lasting longer.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not lasting longer.
Your engine might notice the difference.
I feel like I think my engine is
Yeah.
what will notice the difference. And I think that's like either 147.9 or 149.9, something like that.
Okay. Well, still cheaper than diesel. But yeah, man. But yeah, that's basically what the situation is. So this particular competition watchdog are going to be investigating, and when I find out more information, I shall let you know. Because obviously, like I said, like things have done crazy numbers now, man. Apparently, some food items have actually doubled in price compared to last year, which is ridiculous. What's that? 100%. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, meat, yogurt, and vegetables are among some of these items that have almost doubled in price compared to a year ago. Over the past year, some frankfurters that I sold at Asda increased from an average of £1.25 to £2.42. Onions that you can get in Morrison's, when you get your 4 in a thingy, they were 65p before, now they're £1.24, 90% increase.
Everything's gone up. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Salmon
Salmon is the
crazy.
worst.
I told you that's why we were chicken wing gate. That's why I was off by a couple of pence because the inflation is crazy. It's not even a banner.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. Salmon tails went from £3 to £4.
Why are you shaking your head for, bro? I told you the same place people that when I get my bagels from the salt beef, bagel. I went in there the week before. It was £4 something. I went back. Oh, was it £3.50 or £4? It was I think about £4 something. I went back. It was £7 something.
What?
Yeah.
The same thing.
The same thing. Yeah. The week later, I went back. It was £7 something. And they're telling me the salt beef was 35 quid. Now it's 70. That's double. It's gone crazy.
Crazy.
So the wings was Brent, trust me. We're not even going backwards anyway,
But this is why I was asking you guys, do you feel like you're being overcharged? Because it's like they're being charged crazy prices too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but they're still making profits though. And I know the profit margin's not going to be like 2%. They're not taking cuts on their profit margin.
Yeah, they've done it to maintain a profit margin.
Exactly.
Yeah. But is that a bad thing?
Yes.
Okay.
No, it's not a bad thing for them. Remember, we should be blaming the government,
Why?
not the shopkeepers, because the shopkeepers.
Oh,
they
okay.
like us.
Yeah, not the shopkeepers.
I'm
Yeah,
talking about
if
like
they-
Tesco's and them. Is that what you're talking about?
if it's cost more to fill their shelves,
Okay.
they need to sell more. Like that's not. I can't be onto the shopkeepers.
Yeah, but you know what it is though?
It's the country's gone to pot.
I thought, do you know why I'm on to shopkeepers? Because when COVID happened and all the shops wanted to say, we stand for the people, we care about the people, and all about community, blah, blah, blah. I feel like this is a thing where university, everyone is going through it. So their profit, I feel like they could dip on their profit margin a little bit because they're not going to be out of business. We need you. Your supermarkets, we're always going to come here. I feel like they could also take some cuts because everybody's taking cuts. People are getting fired left, right, and centre. More things are going up, but people's salaries are staying the same. I think for all these companies that claim to be community based and care about community, then what they could do is go down 1% because we would notice the 1%.
These small businesses, what type of shops are you talking about? Because the big brands,
Talk about Tesco and BP and all of them.
they
people.
weren't saying we care about community and that bollocks.
During COVID, they were.
No, it was the restaurant owners that were doing that crap.
No, I remember.
They were the one who was suffering the most, not the Tesco's and the Sainsbury's.
I remember
They were still
Tesco-
open.
Yeah, they were open, but I remember Tesco's doing a whole thing about like caring about community and these are unprecedented times and
but
all of us blah blah blah. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
them
speaking
caring
to.
about community was them allowing the nurses to basically wear them lanyards to come in early to do this. And they were telling people stop taking these things because we have to share them out. They weren't. Never mind. I thought it was the restaurant owners that were hurting the most from COVID because nobody was going to eat at any restaurants because of the whole
That's what they did
distance
there.
and stuff.
Pubs and that.
Yeah, and then
Oh,
the whole
God.
eat out to help out crap happened.
Pubs and
But
that.
these
and got
Tesco's and
ruined.
Sainsbury's, they're
Nightclubs
good.
and that. Oh my god, they felt
Everyone was
it.
down bad.
Nightclubs, bars.
I feel like nightclubs
they
are the worst.
Felt it
Because even when
Finished.
restaurants, when outside opened,
The nightclubs were still not
They're
nightclubbing.
still not opened. It was the worst. And then they said people have to social distance in the club,
dance. Nah.
so you have half the capacity.
Exactly.
People couldn't whine, couldn't nothing.
It's a damn
Crazy,
shame.
man.
And obviously, I guess, this article is acting like this is a new thing, but basically, it just speaks about, desperate parents who are having to resort to stealing baby formula to keep their children fed and stuff.
I get that.
Yeah, but it's sad, man. It's sad. And yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I was going to mention one more thing, but it's not really. You know what? Let me just mention it. Basically, some anti-poverty campaigners, calling out housing associations, talking about, stop tearing up our carpets, because like basically, when someone leaves, somebody comes in or whatever, right? They like to change up certain things in it, take out the carpets, maybe this and the third, right, for the new person. But a lot of the time, they're leaving, they're not fitting the new carpets before that person comes in. So that person's waiting for ages, just having bare floors.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And so people are like, this is getting ridiculous, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's basically the gist of it. So they're coming out to really try and pressure these landlords, housing associations, to actually do something ASAP.
We are proper entitled, man. They gave you a whole yard, man. Go find some rascal carpet, man. But you're waiting for months. They gave you the whole yard. Go and find some carpet, man, to stop your foolishness.
Yeah. That's pretty much it, man.
Right, it's our last headlines.
Asking for a friend.
Asking for a friend. Oh dear. I'll be saying no. Should I read it? Do you want to read it?
I did. Give you a break.
Ciao.
So let's see our dilemma is. I recently went out with some friends and noticed some concerning behaviour between a friend and her boyfriend.
Mind your business.
He seemed quite controlling, e.g. telling her not to talk, when to sit down and to stop dancing. They also left early at his request, even though she wanted to stay. My friend is a really confident and extroverted person, so it made me concerned to see her shrink herself because of her boyfriend. I wanted to ask her if everything was all right with her and her boyfriend, but didn't want to ruin the evening. My question is, do I bother saying anything to her now, or should I mind my business? Side note, I thought maybe I was being sensitive and thinking there was something odd or controlling about his behaviour, but 2 other friends also said to me that they found him to be weird and controlling. Thanks for the help.
Yeah, so I take back my mind your business. I thought it was something about someone cheating. I think it's a good thing you didn't ask her while she was there. I don't think she would have been able to tell you anything while she was there. I think what you should do is plan a meetup with her outside of her boyfriend, and I think just you, not like other friends or anyone else who's felt anything. And I think just have a private meeting with her. Just do something nice, something chilled. I don't know, whatever you can come up with, and that will be having like a relaxed state. And then ask her about her situation. And also let her know that you're always here for her if there's anything she needs to talk about. But yeah, because control, that is not, sounds abuse adjacent. So yeah, that's what I would do if that was my friend.
Do you think it may be different if, for example, maybe, I don't know, she did something wrong, even from her perspective, right? And maybe the guy was still feeling some type of way, and so this is why his demeanor was this type of way. Yeah,
but she can find out when they go out.
Yeah, 100%.
I think the outing is just to find out, was this a one-off? Is it something that happened? Like, just to gauge the temperature of what it was. Because stuff like this, if I see something like that, I can't live with myself when I don't investigate more. Like the other day I was driving and it was quite dark and there was this man following this girl, but he was like shouting at her, but she was quite a while away from him. And she wasn't turning back at all. So it wasn't a thing where they did like they knew each other. It like she was trying to run, like kind of speedily walk and whatever. And I drove up, but it didn't sit right with my spirit. So I literally drove back to see if she was okay. But she'd gone in her apartment and whatever. And I could see him like aggressively, like just staring at the fact that she'd walked up or whatever. And like just displaying very aggressive behavior. But the way I am personally, I can't see certain things and ignore it. Because if, God forbid, something happens, I've got to live with that. And at least once I tried whatever I could try. But I think with your friend, even if it is a thing where wherever she tells you you're not satisfied with it, I think have regular checkups with her. If it is an abusive situation, not saying it is, but if it is an abusive situation, the first thing that they do as abusers is separate them from their circle, their friends, their family, that they isolate them. So don't allow yourself to be isolated, basically. That's what I would do.
So Emmanuel, as a father to your daughter, God forbid this ever happens, but you find out that her man is telling her when she can't talk, when to sit down, and when to stop dancing. What do you do?
That's impossible though. But yeah, just to answer your question.
Thanks.
How do I?
Only because when you heard that, you had asked Esther, suppose they had a row before and he was still in his feelings. But these things that I'm reading, is deeper than just being in his feelings.
Yeah, of course. Oh, yeah, I've definitely overthinking it, oversimplified it. But I was just trying to see it from another angle where, sometimes like you're in a situation maybe, and in a relationship, the guy is maybe telling the woman, yo, be quiet, you've already made it worse, but you're not getting that part before. You're just getting him being very abrupt, like, yo, be quiet. I don't want to hear nothing. Sit down, relax, get out of my face. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, whatever it was, that kind of situation. But like Esther's saying, obviously, that's why you need to have the conversation, because then you'd find out if it was that type of thing. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Well, I appreciate that you've put some color to it. I didn't read it like that, but now I kind of see that it could be like that. Thank you.
Cool.
I was going to say as well, because someone in the
I want
comments...
you to answer the question, though.
Huh?
If your daughter... you found like your
so annoying.
your daughter's man
Yeah.
was moving like this, what would you do?
So this is just how this guy is controlling my daughter type thing.
Oh, so he's not controlling? Yes.
No, I'm asking. I want to be clear.
As I'm reading it here.
I'll free her from
When-
the situation. 100%. 100%. Ain't got time to waste on them type of things there. What?
When you say free her, it's her decision to be with the
No,
guy,
it's
right?
not her decision. No.
Bugs?
Not when you're my daughter.
Can you
What?
respond? Because remember you said your daughter, she has to grow up one point in time and you don't mess with her affairs, basically. So
Don't
do
get
you agree
involved in
with
girl
what
business.
Emmanuel's take is?
What's that?
Freeing her from
How
that
can you say they'll be
situation?
involved in girl business even when it is his daughter? That's your girl. What do you mean? That's your daughter.
Yeah, but she'll turn against me for
He's
this
very
idiot
consistent.
man, for me to come and say things, and this girl's going to turn against me and run away with the man anyway, and then let him isolate her from the family and do all this stuff. I don't mix up. If he was doing all that stuff, I'll just batter him myself. I'll just mash him up. She'll probably just hate me. She'll probably stop talking to me because of the way man will mash him up, but I don't even care anyway. Just keep mashing him up. She'll probably just dump him anyway because it's like, you know
Why do you
what?
keep
my
getting
dad-
beat up?
Exactly. Yeah.
my dad's just going to keep mashing you up, man. This is long. Unless we run away, we might as well just call it a day. You get me?
I was thinking more, why aren't you fighting back?
You can't fight back.
Go fight your dad back.
You can't fight back. You don't stand a chance.
But I was going to say that because someone in the comments did say, what if the person's asking the message is actually the one in the situation? So I would say find someone that you can confide in. If this is something that is common and stuff, then I would say confide in someone about it. If you're going to want to confide in, DM me and I can try and help you. I don't have the answers, by the way, but I can see what I can do.
Yeah.
But yeah,
All right, well, great advice.
get into headlines.
Let's get into it.
All right, so our next headline is trigger warning here, and this is of like terminally ill situations basically, and mental health. I want to see what you guys think about this shit. So basically, a terminally ill IBM worker, right, who sued a tech giant for not raising, tech giant being IBM, right, for not raising his £54,000 salary for the 15 years that he was on sick leave, says it's not greedy to want a pay rise, right? And basically he's just talking about the fears that, that his family's finances are going to be crazy, you know what I mean, once he dies, right? So Ian Clifford is 50 years old and he was signed off of work in 2008 on the grounds of his mental health, but was then later diagnosed with stage 4 leukemia in 2012, right?
Why are they still hiding him? Why is he still there?
Because you can't fire someone when they're sick. It's discrimination and you get sued.
What?
You can't do that. If I'm off sick, I'm not well, you can't fire me. While I'm off sick, I'm on my deathbed probably, and you're going to fire me. So now I'm broke and dead.
It's not a deathbed. It's 15 years, you said. How many years? 8 years?
Yeah, but it's stage 4 leukemia.
Yeah.
So
You
it's
can't fire
like,
you can't fire someone who's got cancer.
Stage 4.
What's the
What?
family gonna do? Because you know, like a lot of jobs as well comes with like insurance. So when you die, your family get a payout. So that means that you're firing me to avoid paying my family. So what have they got? I haven't been able to sustain my family because I'm ill, and then you're gonna fire me. So when I leave as well, there's nothing for them.
Well, you can't work no more.
No, but it's not about that. You took a risk. Every human being may or may not be able to work when you hire them.
That's crazy. I didn't
Gotta
know that.
take
Man. That doesn't sound fair.
Well, you definitely go to court and
Well-
they will win. That's illegal.
Well, he had been guaranteed to receive £54,000 until the age of 65, right, under the company's health plan. But last year, he sued the company for disability discrimination because IBM had not reviewed his pay since 2013. So an employment tribunal in Reading, in Berkshire, dismissed his claim, and a judge told Mr. Clifford that he had been given a very substantial benefit and favourable treatment. Because like Margaret is pretty much intimating, right? He's pocketed more than £1.5 million from the company since he left his job. Speaking out for the first time since the ruling, Mr. Clifford said the chances of him living past 65 is highly unlikely, adding that he wanted to make sure his son was taken care of. He was speaking to the Telegraph and he said, "I'm on chemotherapy and I've been for many years and have been extremely unwell. Your salary affects your debt service, pension and everything else. It was more so for my family. People may think, yes, it's generous, but firstly, those amounts are gross, not taxed. I do pay national insurance on those amounts, this, that, and the third. I have a son who's off to university, and obviously your mortgage doesn't go down just because you're sick." So that's the situation there. So do you feel like...
That's true, as well. All your bills don't go down because you're doing chemotherapy and you're ill.
Yeah, but...
But the thing is, I get where it's coming from, but at the same time, obviously, as a realist, a lot of companies have... so you basically get full pay for a certain point, and after that 6 months, then it's like basically half pay if you're sick. So if they say, for example, they continue to give him full pay, so that's generous. But if it's a thing where they were giving him half pay, still generous because 15 years, man.
Been getting 54 grand a year for not doing nothing, and he's like chatting shit. Do you think anybody gives a shit that he's sick? The fact that he's sick doesn't make a difference. Why does it matter? No, it don't make a difference. You're chatting shit. You're lucky to review it and give. You should have got less money when they reviewed it. You're not doing nothing. Why would you want to raise for not doing nothing?
Why is he not doing anything?
He's not working.
Why is he not doing anything?
Because he's sick.
Yeah, but that can't be...
what was it?
So why do you want to raise for not doing nothing? They're
the
nice.
raise-
They're
the-
nice in you.
Yeah, the raise, but I don't agree with that. But you were also shocked at the fact that he was getting paid all that time and he was ill anyway.
Yeah, I don't think he should be getting paid all that time.
You feel like he should have been fired.
Of course.
So he's on his bed, getting chemotherapy and whatever. Now his mortgage pays and whatever. Now he's gonna be homeless as well as sick.
What's that got to do with me? If I own the company, it's my business. What the hell's it got to do with me? I mean, like, if you was like a footballer and you broke your leg playing for my team, fair play, granted.
That's
you know what I'm trying to say?
You must be
Yeah.
high.
Or if I owned the oil rig and you dropped off and broke your back on it, like if it was because of me, while something's happened, I'll look after you. If this is God's plan, it's got nothing to do with me.
An ankle break makes more sense to compensate someone for than cancer.
What if you've done it on the job? Yeah, if you've done it on the job, if it was if I was like the cause of what was going on, then I would feel I got a duty of care to look after you. If something happened to you while on my watch, that's just how I would feel. I'm not saying like you should sack people when they get stuff like that, but I think like there should be like some kind of sick leave and stuff. But then once we've decided that this is not, you're not coming back or you can't work or you can't do anything, I don't know, maybe that's some kind of payout or something, like a percentage of what you would have earned or something. Obviously compensate someone in some way, shape or form, but I wouldn't expect you have to pay someone's wages every day of their life for the last 15 years because they're sick.
That is crazy, you know.
To me, it is. I don't know.
Because you have to see it from like companies are owned by people. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is a big chunk of money they're just losing for nothing. There's no input.
Maybe that's what is contract stipulated, bro.
Yeah, but he wants a raise. You know what I'm saying? He wants a raise, Brent.
He's ever doing too much wanting the raise though.
That's what the issue is.
Maybe
know what I'm
that was
saying?
also in the contract.
No, I don't know.
You'd be surprised. People are smart about the contracts. You got to get a good lawyer, bro. Otherwise, you're getting got.
So how about if you were in this predicament, you'd been given 15 years good to this company. You're not in a mediocre role, in a big boy role, C-suite
Say that again, sorry?
You listening now?
Go on.
So anyway,
Suppose you were working in this company
Yeah,
or a company, valuable asset to this company.
yeah,
You got them to where it is that they are, right?
yeah,
And you got ill.
yeah,
You couldn't work anywhere else.
yeah.
Would you like severance?
Yeah, why not?
So you don't fault him for that. You fault him for asking for a pay rise.
Yeah, I think the pay rise is crazy. And you can't ask me, I'm selfish, I'm a human being, I'm a hypocrite. You can't put me in this position to go, I'm going to want the best for myself all the time. Who cares? Like, yes, I would want
All right,
everything.
there we go.
so you're for the sick pay,
Huh?
however long he's been sick for.
What, if
Forget
it was
the
me
raise.
that was sick?
No, not you.
Oh, no, if
but
it was
him.
me, I would want every penny of this 15
I know
years.
that. That's why I didn't ask you that because
Yeah, but I
knew you
think
were
it's
gonna-
but I think it's foolishness though. But if it was for me, what I would want for myself, oh yeah, I'll take it all day.
So but you do think it's not you because I know where you stand. You think it's foolishness that he got
Paid
sick pay
54,000 pounds a year for the last 15 years.
Yeah.
Yes. Very much so. Very much so.
So if I'm in a position where I've made them billions, trillions, whatever.
The least you can do is pay me 54k a year, bro.
100%.
Use our workers. I'm thinking back from our boss. Why am I paying this youth for? To keep thinking it. Like, you're talking about this 1 point, how much million it's been over the years. I could have cut that down, done a percentage. Take £300,000, go about your business, boom, 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 boom. Why would I want to keep paying this guy out of pocket for? And he's not doing nothing.
I said,
all
you
this
said
sentiment
you-
and sickness, I
said-
don't care.
I heard that you said that you understood the example of football. If the footballer
Broke his
doesn't play for
ankle.
the rest of his life, once the contract says he has to get paid, he's still getting paid.
No, not
You
for the
said
rest
you
of his
understand
life.
from
I'll
that
pay
aspect.
out the rest of the contract, not the rest of his life.
Yeah, the contract.
Yeah, I'll pay out the rest of the
Yeah,
contract,
But
yeah.
I'm saying, suppose he had a contract that stipulated he was to get paid up until a particular age. I said,
Oh,
we
I see
don't
what
know
you're
the
saying.
details because
Yeah, okay,
they
yeah,
paid it anyway.
yeah. If that was
So
in
there was a legal
if that was
precedent.
in the contract, then that's fair then. Yeah, if that was in the contract, yeah. If he had a long-term contract and they said, look, we're going to keep you till you're 65 and we'll pay you thing, then yeah.
Because
That's,
as we've just learned, 1.5 million he got. So whatever was on the contract, it was legally binding. So it's the raise that you guys are basically taking umbrage with.
yeah, the raise is the main thing for me as well. Him asking for a raise is that's what I'm actually
Cheeky,
on.
Yeah.
But that's the thing though. If it was in the contract, they should have got raised.
Then then it'll be
Go
fine.
fill it.
But
They
I don't
owe
think,
him money.
I don't even think the company would even.
You'd have to hit markers and hit things.
But that's the thing though.
You're not doing nothing. You can't get no raise.
No, but that's the thing though. Again, it's like what Brent was saying. If I've made them billions, and that this company being where it is because of my exceptional value and skills. Had I not been ill, I would have made them more billions. Give the man a raise.
No, but why are we saying that he's made them billions though?
No, but no, this is a hypothetical.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool.
Do you know what I mean?
He got
'Cause you don't
1.5
know-
anyway. Doesn't matter what we're saying. He got 1.5.
Mate.
So whatever it is that he did or didn't
He must
do,
have been valuable.
He got 1.5.
No, but he's got 1.5 over this length of time.
Yes,
Yeah, but he
that's
must
it.
have.
still got it.
I'll be honest with you. Yeah, for them to be paying sick pay for 15 years,
Yeah.
that man had some value. There's legal ways they could have found a ways out of that bondage.
Oh, yeah.
That man has some kind of value. So maybe he's right to be asking. He knows. You know. They recognize each other. So maybe that's why he's asking for what he's asking, because he's like, nah, 1.5. That should be about 3.
Well, I mean, if he thought about it properly, then he shouldn't have allowed him to put a cap on it like this. Then, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, just a bit more context. Well, it's not really more just more to the story. In 2013, they offered a compromise agreement which allowed him, right, to be put onto the company's disability plan, which prevents a person who's unable to work from being dismissed. This is why, I guess he has legs to stand on. So, under the plan, employees remain on the payroll and have no obligation to work. They have a right until recovery, retirement, or death to be paid 75% of their agreed earnings, right? So his agreed salary was 72,000, leaving him with 54k after the deductions. The plan was fixed in place for more than 30 years until he reached his retirement age of 65.
So that's all contractual, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's straight. He deserves that,
Yeah.
man. Give him his money, man.
He was also paid almost 8.5k to settle his holiday pay complaints in 2013 and agreed never to raise a further grievance about the same issues. In February of last year, he took them to court and this, that, and the third. But yeah, man, this is what he said. He's basically just saying because of inflation, because of all these other things, that same money don't mean the same thing anymore. So
Wait there. We're unpacking this a bit more. Context is important.
That's why he needs a raise.
Hey, maybe he needs a raise,
Inflation
bro.
and
The money's not the same.
Yeah.
The money's not the same because he lives inflation. It's messed it all up. Maybe he's got a point.
Here we go.
Did the judge hear him out? Did they or what?
Nah, they dismissed it.
Ah, okay.
Oh, that's a shame.
That's a shame.
They dismissed it.
I think the judge should be done out here.
Well, this is what the judge
robbing
said.
people?
The judge said the claim is that the absence of increase in salary is disability discrimination because it is less favourable treatment than afforded those not disabled. This contention is not sustainable because only the disabled can benefit from the plan. It is not disability discrimination that the plan is not even more generous. Even if the value of £50,000 a year halved over 30 years, it is still a very substantial benefit. However, this is not the issue. This is not the issue for fundamentally the terms of something given as a benefit to the disabled and not available to those not disabled cannot be less favourable treatment related to disability.
Judge is broke. Judge is broke and a hater, and he's broke because he's a moral judge. That's why.
But yeah, next headline, trigger warning here, and this is about sexual assault and torture. Yeah, so 11 Indonesian villagers from the Aceh province have reached a confidential financial settlement with oil giant ExxonMobil. The villagers have been at the center of a 2-decade-long legal battle over alleged human rights abuses. They say they endured torture, sexual assault, and beatings by Indonesian soldiers who were contracted by ExxonMobil. ExxonMobil said it condemns such abuses, including those asserted in this case against the Indonesian military. The villagers allege a number of crimes were committed. These included witnessing their loved ones being shot. They also said pregnant women were forced to jump repeatedly before being sexually assaulted, and men were subject to electric shocks, burns, and knife-inflicted graffiti on their backs. In a statement, the oil giant said, it should be noted that while there were no allegations that any employee directly harmed any of the plaintiffs, the settlement brings closure for all parties. We express our deepest sympathy to the families and the people who were involved. And the last headline, some sad news here, and another trigger warning. People passed away from a fire. At least 6 people have died, and others remain unaccounted for following a fire in a hostel in New Zealand. Emergency services were called to the 4-story building in Wellington just after midnight local time to report that the building was alight. Dozens were rescued from the building, but police said a number of people remained unaccounted for. Chris Hipkins warned the number of dead was likely to increase. Upon arrival at the blaze, firefighters found the top level of the building ablaze. By 4 o'clock in the morning, at least 20 fire trucks were involved in helping extinguish it. Fire and Emergency District Commander Nick Pyatt described the fire as Wellington's worst nightmare. Police warned that they could not be more specific on the number of deaths until they could access the building. So yeah, man, very sad news. But yeah, that's it for the headlines.
All right, then let's get into the reaction.
Just that one game.
Yep, not much to react to last night. Today, sorry. Last night, Liverpool beat Leicester 3-0. Curtis Jones hit a brace, and I heard Trent might have struck a lovely free kick. But I never saw none of the games. Wasn't it a free kick?
Yeah, he didn't take the free kick, I think.
Oh, he didn't take it?
Pushed to him and then...
Yeah.
Oh, he got pushed on?
Yeah.
Oh, indirecting, and he just whipped it in?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was beautiful, man.
Okay, big up him. Did they play him in midfield yesterday as well?
Yep.
Yeah, so they've been... I've heard that shot for a long time, and I think it's come like the last 2-3 games maybe they've been doing it. It's worked out for them. I haven't watched it, so I don't know what it's looking like on the eye test, but I'm hearing good things, and I would assume it's going to work because the kid's an absolute baller. Like, whatever you think about his defensive throaties or whatever, like footballing wise, just like ball at feet playing football. The kid's cold. So yeah, that's interesting. Might save them some money as well. Might save them a bit of peas doing that. Yeah, so that's literally all we got to speak about. That was Leicester 3-0. Liverpool are hot on the heels of United and Newcastle for this top 4 race.
A nice finish though.
Yeah, we'll see how it's done. Liverpool look like they're gonna win all their last games. So the pressure's on Newcastle and United.
Did not even reach top 4 or finish in the top 4.
In Newcastle.
Yeah, it's possible.
It is.
Bloody hell.
Can I quickly Google something? Can I see their last 3? Because I
Bloody
know
hell.
United's last 3 is Chelsea at home, Bournemouth away, Chelsea at home, Bournemouth away, and Fulham at home. I'm guessing, which is the 2 homes, and we need 2 wins in the 2 home games. So, and the aways against Bournemouth. I think we should be able to do it. Let me look at Newcastle's. Brighton's tough as well. Brighton at home, Leicester at home, and then Chelsea away. So even the 2 home, Brighton and Chelsea. Oh, they need 2 wins. Do you reckon Newcastle will drop out?
It's possible, Mags. Like so possible. So bloody possible.
They were my pick as well, man. I hope they do it. I'd love for Liverpool not to get Champions League, man. One Liverpool, man. I'd love for them not to get Champions League. That would be sensational. Let's see Liverpool's last fixtures quickly. Let's just see. Aston Villa and Southampton. Southampton are dead in the water. They're going to cook them. Emery's done good this year, you know. Emery's done good this year from where he took them over to where they are and the way they're playing. Huh?
Is this Liverpool?
Yeah.
Yeah, Anfield. Don't worry about that. No matter how Emery was good, Emery was doing.
What, a little draw?
No, not seen it. Not at Anfield.
No?
Nope.
It's a banana skin, no?
No.
It's not a banana skin?
No.
Shit.
Not with Trent in midfield.
Wishful thinking, boy. Yeah, that last game of the season, Southampton are done and dusted. There's nothing to play for. They damn near get cooked. So Liverpool look like they're going to go and win their games, man. Yeah, it's interesting, man. It's interesting. I will say, not even like trying to take myself out of the situation or take any jeopardy away from it, yeah. But honestly, I honestly don't care.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm being so dead serious. I know it sounds like a cop out, yeah. But if we didn't make top 4, yeah, we just don't deserve it, man. I'll be like nothing. Like the gaffer don't deserve to be there. The man don't deserve to be on the pitch. If we lose this top 4 now, they will get everything that they deserve. You get me? And it'll just more of the same, man. Just on to the next one. Like I'd love some Champions League, just because I hate missing United games because I record on Thursdays. That's the only reason why. Don't even really matter. If they record on Tuesdays, if they start playing on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, then I'll be straight. I can get to watch them in Europe. You get me? That's my main. That's my main reason. I don't even know if we're ready for the Champions League anyway. So, but yeah, man. I'm looking at it now, man. They must do it, man. It's just 2 points. Chelsea are trash. And we got them at home. And Bournemouth, we should be able, like, come on, Brent, man. I don't know, man. We'll see. But yeah, that's it, man. There's not much to report on, man. That's the end of the reaction. Let's get into Done Out Ere. I hope United do it, man. So, because we was talking about marriage and stuff, there's a woman.
Stay in theme.
Yeah, we'll stay in the theme. You know what I'm trying to say? Because there's a woman whose husband passed away. You know what I'm trying to say? Her husband died. So she wrote a book on grief. I don't know how successful this book was, but she wrote a book on grief, just how to deal with losing your spouse and that. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, it's a deep thing. Like, losing your husband must be mad. You know, like when you go through life and all these other conversations we've had, we're talking about, and then like you find your person. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, so when
my worst fear, you know.
Yeah, because
I'd rather be single. I couldn't go through that.
Honestly, yeah, I think about this stuff all the time, yeah, because like losing siblings and stuff like that, yeah, is all like siblings, parents, and all that. Like, but these are people that you
chose.
No, you never chose. You never had no. I'm saying your family, your siblings, and your parents are people that you just connected to.
Oh, yeah.
You don't know no different. You get what I'm trying to say. But then when you went out into the world and you found someone, this is someone that you picked.
Yep.
So this ain't like this is This is your
You chose
this
this.
is your
Yeah.
everything. You chose this person.
Your rib.
Yeah, this is your one person. And then to have them and make that commitment and say, this is where I am for my whole life, yeah. And then for them to die, yeah. It's got to be one of the saddest things
Yeah, man.
in the world. Like,
Yeah.
honestly. So that's probably why she's wrote a book to show people how to deal with the grief and these things like that. Because it's not light. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's dead serious. So big up her trying to help people, trying to write a book just to deal with the grief and all that. But when we was looking into the death of her husband, it looks like he was poisoned by fentanyl. You know what I'm trying
By
to say?
whom?
By whom?
By whom?
It's looking like it's the wife.
Not the author.
It's looking like it's the author of
Authoress.
the book. It's looking like it's the authoress of the book. Apparently, she made him a drink before bed because he wanted a drink. She made him a drink before bed, and then that night, she slept with the children because one of the children was having a nightmare. So she stayed in the bed with one of the children was having a nightmare. And then the child got to bed. She's gone back into bed about 3, 4 in the morning. And then apparently the husband was cold to touch. So she starts panicking. She calls the emergency services. Then when the emergency services walk in on her, she's doing like CPR and that. But no, he was out of there.
You know she was chilling, yeah. When she heard the ambulance, when you heard them parking in the driveway, she's like, "Oh, going character."
Well, that's funny because the team are saying they don't think she was really doing CPR because the amount of blood that came out of his mouth when they got there. You know what I'm trying to say? When they got there and they done it, she was like,
Now it works.
Now it works. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, now it's proper. If she was doing proper CPR, it wouldn't. So she was. It was all a show. It was all a facade.
Do you know what it is? I don't like crime in it, but I like smart criminals. I think she was smart. Obviously, she got caught. But I don't think getting caught means you weren't smart. You just weren't smarter than the detective on the case. But the fact that sis did what she did, and then she wrote a book. I rate, you know, she covered her tracks the best she could. I wonder how they found out it was her. Someone needs to make I need this to be a Netflix documentary. This is my type of watch.
You can get into it, man. She filled him up, man. 5 times
That's
the lethal
mad.
dosage.
Oh my, he has stood no chance.
There's no, he didn't stand a chance in hell.
I thought men were supposed to live longer when they get married.
That's what I was telling you.
It's crazy, isn't it?
We get killed, man.
It's crazy.
I'd like to look into the numbers and percentages of who dies more in marriages, who gets killed more in marriages. Sorry.
Oh, that's bad.
Hmm?
Never mind.
I mean, that would be interesting actually, because in single life, men kill more.
Yeah.
Men kill women more.
But
So it'd be interesting to see if roles reverse when.
a
They're
lot of
married.
women kill their husbands though.
Yes, I'm saying so because you know what, a lot of women who are single tend to be attacked by men while they're single. So it'd be interesting to see if when they get married, they're pouring one out for the sisters.
So 1 in 3 and 1 in 4 women get killed by men within their marriages or their partners, by their partners. 1 in 7 and 1 in 25 men have been injured.
Injured.
1 in
That's a
7
slap.
women and 1 in 25 men have been injured seriously enough to require medical attention.
Oh wow. So they don't really get killed then.
No, that's a different stat.
Light injury.
1 in 3
It's a
women
slap.
and 1 in 4 men have experienced some form of physical violence by an intimate partner.
That's gone up.
Oh,
It
you're
used to
saying
be
it's
1 in
1
7.
in 3 men and 1 in 4 men.
1 in 4 men. It's close.
Yeah.
Basically. But then it was 1 in 3 women get killed. Was it? Or injured?
Women are more likely, I don't think they have the stat. Women are more likely to be killed by their intimate partners than men. They don't have the stat to,
4 men.
yeah.
That happened that much.
You know, you need to check in the percentage of men because in high value men, it's more, they die more.
Yeah?
Yeah, rich men.
High value men.
Because of the whole,
Yeah,
I
man.
get
Because of the
what it
money.
is that you leave. Okay.
I suppose, yeah. Because why get 50% when I can get all of it?
It's the broke men that be doing the killing because they broke, they ain't got enough to lose. But the rich men,
It's true, man. Prison lease give you
They would,
meals.
do you know what's mad? The rich men are able to cover the tracks better. They pay someone else to do it. They don't have to get their hands dirty. And then he could just stay on and swat his fortune,
gross.
whatever company.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
like I said, in the keeping of love and marriage, I thought I'd share that story with you.
that's right.
She's done it here, though, man.
100%.
She got caught. Hot operation came down. I
Mad.
wonder how many books she sold before they got her. I can't find the information.
Oh dear.
But yeah, man, just wanted to spread some news of successful marriages. Tuesday was talking about it, but yeah, let's get into the actual.
Let's do it. Well, this has been an interesting show. I feel like there's been a lot of equations going on. A lot of 1 + 1. Some people get 2, some people get 3, some people get 5. You know, that kind of vibe. But thank you for tuning in, as you always do. Like the video, as you always do. Subscribe to the channel and follow us on our social media platforms. The Day After TNB. You can also send your dilemmas in to 075 6484 1073. And if you'd like to inquire about the show or feature on the show, email the team at thedayafter@thenewblack.com. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.
Peace. Like the video.